Winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
If you're not looking for a brand new car, at Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. We've kept only the best of our trades, and our buyer has found some of the finest pre-owned Hondas available in Northern California. You can see for yourself at elkgrovehonda.com. Whether you purchase a brand new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, your car buying experience will be the same. We have the right Honda at the right price. You'll find us in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
When you're young, life is full of choices. Don't let opioids like highly addictive and deadly fentanyl take away your life with just one wrong pill. Addiction is a disease that can affect anyone at any age. But there is a choice to get help for this disease. Find medically proven treatment options, including virtual, at choosemat.org.
Do your summer plans include travel? Make sure your prep includes more than just flights and hotels. Stay up to date with COVID-19 vaccination, especially if you're 65 or older or have certain health conditions. There have been surges in COVID-19 in the summer, too. It's important to help protect yourself no matter your destination. So check eligibility and schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. That's VAXAssist.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Aloha! Dreaming of sandy beaches and ocean breezes? JTV's Tropical Treasure Sweepstakes could make that dream come true. Enter for your chance to win a fabulous Hawaiian getaway for two with luxury accommodations, airfare, and spending cash. Plus, just for entering, get $30 off your next qualifying JTV purchase of at least $99 when you opt in for emails. Don't miss out. Visit jtv.com/sweeps and enter by August 3rd. JTV, where paradise awaits.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Avriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Hoblit Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center. Tickets and info at CITPFest.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex decking and railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options, heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's Trex.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your flagship station for the Beam Team.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is SacTown Sports 1140. Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon. It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SacTownSports.com and the SacTown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at SacTown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper.
Yeah, thanks for being with us. Today's shaping up as what we think will be a pretty special Friday. We've got the current Kings general manager, Scott Perry, going to join us in a few minutes. Yes. Here. We've got former Kings general manager, Jerry Reynolds. He's going to join us about 4:30. And we have Kyle Draper, who realizes he has a connection with Maxime Raynaud.
Yeah, you know how it is, Whitey. You call a lot of games. Guys come and go.
Hard to keep track.
But then I realized back in 2021, it was November, I was still a young pup here in the city of Sacramento. Got the assignment. They said, Drapes, we need you to get down to the farm to call this NCAA Stanford Cardinal game. I'm like, heck yeah. Me and my boy Casey Jacobson won the play-by-play. And I remember they had this young freshman that everybody was raving about. Maxime Raynaud.
Wow.
And I dug back on my notes, and I'm like, yes, I do remember him now. Had 7 points in the game. I called 3 for 4 from the field, knocked down the 3.
Ooh.
And, I don't remember a whole lot about that game. Actually, he only played 12 minutes and change. But I do remember NCAA, a little undersized, and in 12 minutes, he had 7 points and 6 rebounds. Looked up the stat sheet. I mean, they were raving about him at that time. Like, oh, we got this freshman from France and everything like that. And he looked good out there, and now he's a member of the Sacramento Kings.
What's the etiquette now? The first time you're sitting down with him, or maybe you're on the road or something, do you go, hey, I did that game?
No.
I wouldn't think so.
No, you don't do that.
Yeah.
The first time I sit down with him, my guy, you'll know this or not, but back in 2021, I was, at one of your early games. And that's how you say it.
Gotcha.
You don't say, hey, back when you were a freshman, I called one of your, nah.
Well, I just
you walk up,
bring it up.
I probably will. I was an early scout on him.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Did you know that when Nick Clifford was talking to the Sacramento media on draft night, 2 local reporters dropped a my guy on him? Did you know that?
It's unbelievable, man. And I don't have the patent on it, but in Sacramento, I got the trademark. I mean, everybody, it's like, come on.
Jake Gayden was one, and I guess he knew him. He used to cover him when he was in college, so there was actually
all right, man, that might be his guy.
And then Matt George followed up. He was next, and then he said, my guy, how are you? And Carmichael Dave even had Matt George on the show the next day to ask him, like, what are you doing?
Who said my guy?
Matt George. And Matt George said, yeah, I was just jealous of Jake Gayden.
Oh, man, I'm telling you, the Drapes Guys T-shirts are available right now.
Wow.
I'm going to put a link on my
you should.
On my social media bios where you can get Drapes Guy. I also got Drapes Girl T-shirts, too.
Well,
don't want to forget the ladies out there.
Right. Is Scott Perry your guy?
Oh, of course Scott Perry's my guy.
Your guy's coming up.
Had coffee with him, chopped it up. We're going to get out on the golf course. He don't live too far from me either. And so,
I ain't going to be your guy.
Oh, look at Ramsey back there. Okay. Jay would have did the same thing. Ramsey stepping up. I appreciate that, big fella.
Yeah, so everybody, as you pointed out here before we got started, rave reviews for the Kings draft.
Yeah.
How excited were you with the selection of Maxime Raynaud, and then also the additions of Dylan Cardwell and Isaac Noguez?
I love the Raynaud pickup because we've needed a guy that could play alongside Domantas Sabonis and JV. A guy that can stretch the floor. I'd like him to have a little more foot quickness out there and everything like that, especially defensively. I know you'll talk about that coming up in a minute, but a big that can shoot the 3. This is what we've been looking for. This is the reason why we wanted a Brook Lopez a couple of years ago. A Miles Turner, not saying he's going to be that good, but somebody that can also play alongside Domas. When you can go double big, we saw it last year with JV and Domas. It didn't look that good. But I think with Raynaud, he could be a 4. Domas could be a 4. Like, they could be interchangeable out there on the floor.
Yeah, ideally, there is a question there of the two of them on the floor together defensively, as you say. That's a work in progress for a young player. It's interesting because I know a lot of people on social media have talked about, and we haven't seen him play much. You actually broadcast one of his games, but there's some chatter about, rim protector. And the more you look into it, that might not necessarily be true.
Yeah.
At least not yet.
I think he's a rim protector in this regard because he has size.
Yeah.
It's not like he's out there like Dikembe Mutombo, an elite shot blocker.
Marvin Webster, the human eraser.
Exactly. But, a big guy that can – how about this, Whitey? You ain't even got to block. Alter shots. Yes, that's all you need. And I think that's one thing we were lacking. Domas a little undersized in that regard. JV does a good job altering shots, and I think Raynaud can fit in that way too.
Yeah, I'm just remembering when the Warriors were playing Minnesota. So many times in this most recent playoff series, Warriors get in the lane, and you could almost see them looking for Gobert.
Right. Just the threat.
I know he's there.
Yeah, exactly.
So long ways to go before he's Rudy Gobert. But isn't it amazing how energized Kings fans are now compared to what we were looking at and hearing a week ago?
Oh, man, Kings fans are head over heels with these draft picks. And, the thing I like, and I know people want a 19-year-old, these guys can play right now and still grow and develop. You know what I mean? I think, and we talked about it yesterday, you draft a 19-year-old, where's he getting minutes at? Where is he getting time? The growing pains. Is he shuttling back and forth to Stockton? These guys you don't have to do that with.
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? We'll talk to Scott Perry in a few moments about this and other things, but maybe he has a type, and maybe part of that type is being a guy who's played a little longer, a little older, so to speak.
Yes, a little more seasoned.
Yeah, that's
a little more developed. What you're getting in these guys. And I think also the Kings are at a point too, Whitey, let me say this, that we can't miss on these picks, if you will. But, these guys, we've seen 4 or 5 years of them playing basketball. We know who they are. A young freshman, a guy just coming out, he could go either way.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think we need bodies. We need young people that can actually help us this upcoming season.
I still think that obviously you hope both these guys become rotational pieces, maybe soon. And that's certainly on the board. It's certainly a possibility. But realistically, given where they were chosen, to me, if just one of them becomes like a solid piece, I feel like that's a win. And it's not to say they can't both be, but to me, when you pick a guy in the second round and a guy at 24, if one of them is, I feel like that's a win.
Right. I 100% agree with you on that. You're talking late first round, second round picks. If they can develop into a top 7, 8 guy,
yes,
I'm with you. It doesn't have to be a superstar, an all-star, or a starter even. Like, for instance, if one of them turns into a Jake LaRavia type, I'll take it.
I agree.
I'll take it, because one of the issues, we've had, like when I first got here, the back end of our roster, we didn't have NBA players. If these guys are NBA players going to have 10 to 12 to 15-year NBA careers, I think you did your job, Scott Perry.
I think when you look at the numbers and the roster spots, I think there's a reasonable chance that Raynaud is on your roster, which also helps you with, your cap situation and your tax situation.
Well, I'll tell you what, that's an interesting point, because we're going to have to start looking at some numbers, the numbers game here in Sacramento, because, you still got to add a point guard. And so I need to go look at the roster. I thought we had 12 guys before the draft. I need to look at it, Whitey, and see who's going. Does that mean Trey Lyles is not coming back? That's what it sounded like to me, and so that's something to look at if you're the King.
Yeah, still got a lot to sort through, but Scott Perry so far has managed to energize Kings fans who are just so excited, whereas just even, 22 picks into the first round, Kings fans were down.
What are we doing?
What are we doing now? Yay!
Dude,
it's the greatest.
What are we doing, Kings fans? It's like the roller coaster is in the offseason too, I see. I mean, and here's the thing about it. The same people that were criticizing Scott Perry once he drafted Raynaud, they drafted my guy. He's amazing. And it's like, just let Scott do his job, man. I can't wait to have him on our show coming up in about 5 minutes. It'll be interesting to have him on here.
Yeah, Jason Anderson, the way he phrased it was the Kings may have gotten 2 for none, 2 first-round picks. It wasn't 2 for 1; it was 2 for none, basically. Because
we didn't have.
Yeah, you buy into the notion that Raynaud basically was viewed as a first-round pick. So that's good work. How significant it's going to be going forward, we don't know yet, but it's got this whole operation pointed apparently in the right direction.
Yeah, and what were the mocks saying about Raynaud, Whitey? Did you check that out? Where most had him going?
I think a lot of them had him in the late first. And I know this isn't what you're asking. You're asked about the mocks, but the post-draft reviews, Kevin O'Connor again doing backflips over the pick.
Dude, I think he's trying to kiss up to us. He's trying to get into our good graces. My website that I always go to, NBADraft.net, has Raynaud at number 29. We got him at 42. And here's the thing. It fills a need. Somebody will say, well, we already got 2 centers, but we ain't got to stretch big like this.
Right.
That's a need for us. And when I look at this roster, ideally, I'm bringing back Jake LaRavia. Ideally, I'm adding a point guard. I think you got a pretty nice roster there if Scott Perry takes care of those 2 things.
And you've gotten younger, which is so
you were
important.
big on that.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and, I'm looking at Raynaud 7'1", 240 and can stretch the floor. The scouting report from my website on him. Let me know if you find this a positive. NBA comparison. Luke Cornett.
Yeah.
Luke, he a critical piece of the Celtics, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I take Luke Cornett right now. And
I think that's still a bit of an open question. If he can become a true marksman, that's great. He's shown signs that he could be a really good shooter.
Mm-hmm.
I'm reluctant right now to say, dead-eye marksman. I mean, he's a big and he made, 53s?
Yeah.
So he's trending in that direction. I still think, the NBA level, Spencer Hawes once told us on the station, that's a big boy shot when you get up to 23-9.
Right.
So I don't think we can assume that, but he's got a lot of potential, and that opens up so many things for him if he can continue to improve as a shooter.
But I'll say this, too. With the way these guys practice the three, if Brook Lopez can develop, if Al Horford, and this guy has already shown range out to about 21 or 22, I think I'm excited, man. When I look at the tape, I need a quicker release from him.
Yeah, it's a little hitch in his middle on
just
there,
a little bit, a little bit. But, ideally, when you have him out on the floor, nobody's hugging up on him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so he's getting stuff off of Zach, off of DeMar, off of Malik, and the penetration. He's going to make him pay from outside.
He looks pretty athletic for a big guy.
Yeah.
I know he's not as quick, but, he can do some things putting the ball on the floor that are impressive.
Yeah, he can. But he's not playing above the rim athletic, though, right? I don't think so. I'm looking at some of the comps here and some of the write-ups. Not an elite athlete and doesn't play above the rim much despite his size, though, but lacks vertical pop and quick twitch reactions. But they talk about a reliable offensive skill set that he has, touch around the basket, can use both hands. And so, this is a solid pickup. This is a first-round caliber player that we got with 42.
I saw one comp for him, and I think this was before he was drafted, NBAdraft.net, NBAdraftroom.com. Anyway, They said he's like Brad Miller with a better three-point shot. And I'll be honest, I didn't know if that's a good thing.
No, I think that's a good thing, right? Brad was solid.
He was.
He was a solid player.
He was not drafted.
Right.
He was an all-star.
Think about that.
Yeah, he was an all-star.
Yes,
right.
yeah. If he's a Brad Miller with a jump shot,
yeah,
I'm taking that. Brad had a long career in the league, too.
He did.
Yeah.
He did. So we've got Maxime Raynaud. We've got Nee Clifford. And then also the pickups of Dylan Cardwell and Isaac Nogues. Maybe those guys have a chance to earn. Well, let's see. Cardwell got a two-way deal, right?
Yeah. Cardwell got a two-way deal. Big man out of Auburn. I like his potential. Yes.
Right. Nice enough to join us right now. Your coffee buddy.
Stop. Yes. My guy.
Yes.
We got to call him my guy.
Okay.
My coffee buddy, my soon-to-be golf buddy.
He's everybody's guy in Sacramento today. All Kings fans say he's our guy. Scott Perry. How are you, Scott?
Hey guys, how we doing?
Much better today now, Scott.
I'm listening to Kyle. If we're gonna be golf buddies, he's got to give me some strokes, a couple of sides.
I don't know about that, Scott. I play for money too. I ain't giving you no. Yeah, we're gonna have to get out soon, my man. We got to get out soon.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. Scott, I wanted to ask you. You're getting rave reviews for your draft in the NBA Mediascape. What pleases you the most about what you're able to accomplish in the last couple of days in the draft?
Well, a lot of things that you guys probably, I know you didn't get a chance to see it. It's really the way our staff really came together and worked through this process. I've just been here a couple of months, brought, a few people in with me, but a number of people that had been here before, and just bringing that all together, the way the coaches came together and ran workouts really well. Our process was thorough. We were able to, meet with all of the guys that we, were able to draft and a number of, other prospects as well. And just really the thoroughness of what we went through this process together, the draft night in terms of the symmetry in the war room with all our staff here, that probably pleased me the most. Just the process is off to a good start. and it will only get better from my perspective as I'm here longer and people get to know me and my expectations for what's going on here. But and our support staff has been fantastic as well too. So the old saying, it takes a village. The village really showed up and was very helpful to me and this organization throughout the process.
On with Sacramento Kings GM Scott Perry. Hey, Scott, you got Nick Clifford at 23 years old. You got Raynaud at 22. Was it a priority to get older guys that could play right away in the NBA?
That I would say priority, but I like when guys have put a resume together that you can really evaluate. And as I said, the night after the first night when we drafted Neek, he was a great example of that. And Maxime is the same way. These are guys that got better each year in college. And so you like to get players who are on an upward trajectory. I think also a good byproduct when you do get guys 22, 23 years old coming into the league. Not only are they a little more physically mature, but they're mentally more mature. And it reminds me of the times when I first got into the NBA working, years ago, you were getting a little more of a finished product in that way in terms of the total person. Does not mean we would never draft someone that's, 19 years old, because there are a lot of great talented players that are coming into our league at that age. But I think it's in this instance, they were the best players for us. They both address the need. We love the versatility of Nick Clifford and adding some size with Maxime. I think, he's skilled, big man. I think he's going to be able to play in the modern NBA with his skills, not only around the basket, but I think he's going to develop into someone who can play away from the basket as well.
And to that point, Scott, do you see Raynaud potentially becoming, with his ability to stretch the floor, a big that could play alongside Dilmas if all goes well?
Yeah, you got to see it come together. But yeah, there obviously is potential there for sure. He's got to get stronger. He's got to get used to the speed of the NBA game, and just like all these rookies do. So that'll be the big thing that I'm watching early on, not only in summer league, but early on in training camp and preseason and early part of the regular season. Just how quickly they can adapt, not only Raynaud, but also Clifford, how quickly they adapt to the speed and pace of the game and the strength of the game. Because now you're playing against the best in the world every single night, and that's a challenge. So there will be highs and lows associated with both. I don't care who the rookie is, that will be the case.
Hey, Scott, you took over the job. We didn't have a first-round pick, but you made a trade to get into the first round. Was it because you wanted Neek, or was that your plan all along, just try to get a first-round pick, trade up, and be active in the first round?
Kyle, one thing I've mentioned to you and everyone else in the community, I was always going to be prudent and opportunistic. So going into the draft when you don't have a first-round pick, you try to evaluate what opportunities in the first round that you can get in, or what range of the first round you can get into. We felt like there was an opportunity to do that in the 20s. And so you say to yourself, who are you willing to do that with, to, trade a future asset to go get? And there was only a couple guys for us that we thought possibly could make that range. And actually, Nick Clifford, I didn't think would make it there, to be quite frank, because I know a lot of teams ahead of us liked him. And just in communication with people around him, it was a less than 50% chance that he may be there. Ultimately, we're at 24. So it just made a lot of sense for us to jump in at that point and get him, especially since we had such a strong grade on him. It made sense. We like his versatility. He brings the defensive edge. And, again, my job is to keep enhancing the talent base on this team. And these two young guys are, the first draft picks since I've been here. And we're going to continue adding to our talent base do future drafts and in every other manner that we can.
Scott, when we look at not only the players you drafted, but also the players you picked up after the draft, you got some good defenders in this group. Could you speak to the emphasis, how important it was for you to really look at the defensive end in choosing these players?
Well, if you know my background, know much about me, I believe in both sides of the ball, but I really believe in that defensive side. And I think if you study championship teams over the years in basketball, whether it be collegiate or professional basketball, you got to be able to defend at a high enough. You got to be able to defend at a high enough level. And I think this team, we need that. Whenever you can find people that can contribute on that end, we want to. And you've heard me talk about these 6 principles to becoming a Sacramento King: developing identity, competitive, tough, team-oriented, disciplined, accountable, professional. That all factors in, and that being able to defend at a high level is very important. Look, we just saw it in the NBA Finals with both of those teams, both Indiana and the eventual champions, Oklahoma City Thunder. Both groups do a nice job of defending the basketball, making it difficult. And when you have guys who can defend multiple positions, that's very important, as both of those teams do. So I've always valued that, knew it was important to go after that defensive end. And I'll go even further back to my start in the NBA with the Detroit Pistons, well over a decade. We, year in and year out, were one of the top defensive teams in the league. And that was the backbone to our success when we went to 6 straight conference finals and won an NBA championship during that time.
On with Kings GM Scott Perry. Hey, Scott, you know, when you put together a team and go into a season, and we're still a ways away from, you know, knowing the full roster, do you have expectations going into each and every season as a GM?
Well, I'm going to go into every season about wanting us to maximize what we have, and that we're going to come out, play hard, fight every single night, and play together. If we would compete, play hard every night, and play together, then we'll let the chips fall where they may. You know, I'm into winning, want to win all the time, but it has to start. We have to build a foundation that each and every night we're going to scratch and claw and compete and play hard. And I believe if you do that, you're going to have good enough success, you know, each and every season. So, but we have to start establishing that this year, that's who we're going to be.
Scott Perry, Kings GM, with us. We know that Domas just posted a social media message to the young players. Welcome. Let's get to work. You have talked publicly about Zach LaVine and the importance of putting the right pieces around him. But Scott, a year ago, before you were here, of course, the big story was DeMar DeRozan, and we haven't heard much this summer about DeMar DeRozan. Is there anything you can share with us about how he's feeling about things, where the team is with him, how likely he is to be on the roster, anything about DeMar DeRozan and his future with the club?
DeMar DeRozan is in a very good place. Actually, I just a few weeks ago, flew to Los Angeles to have lunch with him, and known him a little bit, respected him as a professional from afar for many years, and he's ready to go, and he's excited about the change and my coming here, and so we had a very good conversation, and no, he's all in, and I'm looking forward to working with him during this season. So and getting the very best out of him. He wants to win, and so we're definitely aligned on that, and we're gonna get to work when camp starts.
Very good. Thank you.
Scott Perry joining us. Hey, Scott, in your opening press conference, you talked about the need for a point guard. You know, we didn't get one in the draft. How much of it is that still a priority for you?
Oh, it's still important to us that we address that position, and we're going to go out here and see if we can address the position in pending free agency that starts next week. So we'll see what happens there, you know. And but we'll get it figured out one way or the other. That's just an additional way I think this team can improve is by adding that position. So,
as far as Summer League goes, Scott, Kings fans now very excited about Summer League. Of course, you as a GM, what's the important? What are you looking for? Is it just getting guys acclimated to the system a little bit? What are you looking for? What are you expecting from your new players and when it comes to Summer League?
I just want to see the competitive level and see how quickly they adapt and learn in the new environment. That's important. So that they develop through the course of Summer League, from the first practice to the last Summer League game, that you can see the development, you can see the potential. They'll be learning, new terminology with our coaching staff here. But I'm really just looking at the competitive nature of each of those guys and everybody on the roster for that matter. How are you going to compete, setting the tone for what, we want the Sacramento Kings basketball identity to be. And we're just going to compete, play hard at every turn. So that's what I want to see.
Scott, I'll wrap it up with this question. You've been on the job a few months. Obviously, you're familiar with Sacramento. What's it been like out there on the streets? Because people are coming up to me left and right. Oh, we should do this. We should do that. Are you hearing from closet GMs and people saying, Scott, we got to do this? What's it like for you, man?
First of all, I'm used to a lot of closet GMs from my time in New York. So there were a whole bunch of closet GMs there. But no, people here have been great. Problem is they probably don't see me much because I'm temporarily right now, I'm staying about a half a block from the arena. So if you don't see me walking from the arena to where I stay, it's going to be hard to get a hold of me right now because I've been, obviously really busy getting ready with the draft. And there's a couple of restaurants that I go to, and that's about it. So I haven't been out and about a ton, but I'm looking forward to that now, once we begin to slow down and I get settled in more.
Well, Scott, listen, congratulations on inspiring Kings fans. Kings fans have turned around. They're very positive about things now. Congratulations on your moves. And thank you. You're so busy right now. We really, really appreciate a few moments of your time.
Well, I really appreciate you guys having me on, and just want the Kings fans to know that it's very important to me that we build something that's sustainable and successful in an organization and a team they can be very proud of and support. It was always great coming in here as a visitor, just feeling the energy from this crowd and from this community. Now I get to be a part of that and be on the right side of that this time when we go to Bergman Center. So
good stuff, Scott. Hey, I tell you, Scott, you keep making moves like this draft, man. I'm going to give you all kinds of strokes, man. I'm going to give you 10 strokes, 11 strokes on the golf course.
Hey, what? With Sacramento Kings community, just heard that, Kyle. No going back on that now.
All right.
No going back.
Thanks, Scott.
All right, man. We'll talk soon.
Okay.
All right,
We
baby.
appreciate
Thanks,
it.
man.
Yeah,
Right.
Scott Perry. So where does the draft leave the Kings with free agency around the corner? Dive into that, dive into all the things Scott Perry had to say when we come right back on a Friday to the Drive Guys on SacTown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with SacTown Sports and the SacTown Sports app.
Oh, and that's a hard foul. Let's listen for the call on the floor.
The taxpayer owes back taxes. Penalties and interest are assessed and wage garnishments to begin immediately.
The IRS never misses that call. I wonder if they will challenge it.
The call is under review.
Priority Tax Relief has been called in for a review. Priority is the best in the business at negotiating your tax debt and has even eliminated the debt for some clients. Priority Tax Relief is saving their clients millions of dollars every month.
After a careful review from Priority Tax Relief, the debt has been eliminated. No foul on the play.
Whoa! That completely changes the game, folks.
If you owe more than $5,000, call Priority Tax Relief, and in minutes they'll review your case for free with a direct line to the IRS to see if you qualify for life-changing relief. No more worrying about wage garnishments or frozen bank accounts. Call Priority Tax Relief today at 800-899-2289. That's 800-899-2289.
We make your tax relief our priority.
Call now. Priority Tax Relief.
At Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics, we're all about providing summer smiles. During June, we're offering a Summer Smiles special, $149 off braces, or $250 off Invisalign, and a chance to win Legoland tickets. Go to kidscaredental.com for more information.
Sacramento River Cats baseball celebrates July 3rd at Sutter Health Park with the Independence Eve extravaganza presented by Budweiser. Join us for baseball, fireworks, and fun for all ages. Grab your July 3rd River Cats tickets at rivercats.com.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So the kids' back-to-school lists were extra long.
Extra long sounds extra expensive.
Staples had everything at amazing prices.
Suspiciously amazing if you ask me.
Some items were just 25 cents. Plus, as an Easy Rewards member, I got 30% back in points on my kids' school supplies.
Jumpin' Jellyfish. Your back-to-school budget saved by Staples Easy Button. Staples.
That was easy.
In-store, online, and on the app. In 719. Exclusions apply. Single use per week up to $60 in points. See app for details.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number 4th of July sale. Save over $600 on our King P5 smart bed, our lowest price of the season. Plus, get free home delivery with most smart beds, limited time. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Michael Dave here for my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Yes, I always tell you they are a family-owned operation, been in business since 81, A+ Better Business Bureau, but it is hot. We are in those Sacramento hot months. I want to focus on them being your second opinion partner. What does that mean? Maybe you've got somebody you're working with or you've worked with in the past in the HVAC world. Guess what? They want to give you a second opinion. How much does it cost? Nothing. You call them up and say, hey, can I get a second opinion on this deal? They come out and they either say, wow, that's a great deal. You should feel better about that. Or they say, we can beat that price. And usually they're going to beat it by a lot. Guess what? You just saved money and it didn't cost you anything to find out. It's a no-lose situation. Go with a trusted company. American Energy, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win. Unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion, persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khtk.com.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/SacTown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the SacTown Sports app.
Friday with the Drive Guys. We just had a very interesting conversation with Scott Perry. Scott Perry is a very energetic guy, and he brought great energy and insight with us. But to me, you could tell he's been working a lot, Traves.
Right, and the thing about it, I was going, try and line up some golf. You got free agency starting Monday. This is a busy time right now. This is when you shape the roster for the upcoming season right here.
Mm-hmm. I thought it was interesting when I asked him about, what pleases you the most about the draft.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought he might say, I love this about that guy. But he talked about the organization and the fact that he's only been there, 2 months basically.
Right.
So it's like, all right, you're here. We got the draft in 2 months. Go. And here they were able to come together and do the job they did. So that is a real encouraging sign.
Right. And the thing about it, and he talked about it, being able to work together with the staff and get this, get the guys that you wanted. It seems like, everybody was universally in agreement that these are the players we should take. When they look at the board and this is who's on there, yes, go out and get these guys. And, I asked the question about, Raynaud being 22 and Neek being 23. Was it a priority to get guys that could come in and help immediately? He didn't say it was a priority, but he did talk about getting guys that are mature, know the game of basketball, And so I think both these guys, I'm not saying they're playing 25 minutes, Whitey, but both these guys should be able to help out pretty early on in their career.
You know, the emphasis on defense, which is evident that he's talked about, I'm wondering how much they'll be able to emphasize that in free agency. You know, it's a little different when you're drafting guys. You've got all these players to choose from. So those guys play defense. But when it comes to free agency, obviously you have fewer players to choose from. I'm just wondering the degree to which they'll be able to say, we need a point guard, whoever it is. We've heard all the names. Well, we like this guy more because he's defensive minded. I think it'll be interesting to see.
I do think, you know, and this is just me talking, whoever they bring in, defense has to be.
I would think so.
And so when we look at some of our options out there that we've talked about, you know, is Tyus Jones a plus defender? I don't know.
He hasn't been.
He hasn't been. Okay.
Schroeder's a little better, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think Schroeder's a little better. Marcus Smart, but that would be by way of trade, so I don't think that's likely to happen. And so from my bent, I feel like we know the Trae Youngs, the Ja Morant's, great talents, not quite the fit that they're looking for in terms of identity of our team.
Yeah. What did you think of his response when he said that both the players drafted fill a need? Obviously, Raynaud, it's more obvious. He could give you, you know, stretch big. What is the need that you think Nick Clifford addresses?
I think he gives us positional length. You know, look at our two guards, let's say, you know, outside of Zach, you know, Devin Carter's, you know, a small. Keon's listed as 6'5", but he's, you know, a little slight of frame a little bit. You look at Malik Monk, if you will. This guy, Nick, I'm talking about, can guard 2 or 3. I'd like him to bulk up a little bit more as well. But at 6'6", do you know his wingspan offhand? I need to look that up. I don't have it offhand. But I think that positional length is what we need. You know, we can't keep having 6'3" 2 guards, 6'4" 2 guards. This guy, Nick, listed as 6'6", wingspan 6'10".
Yeah.
So that's pretty solid. That's pretty solid.
Yeah. So a busy day, couple days for the Kings. And as you say, now free agency right around the corner. Free agency starts, technically on Monday at 3?
Yes.
But I don't think you can actually do anything for a couple days later, but that's when
I think
we're going to start hearing things.
But it's I want to go back to the days where once 3 o'clock hit.
Yeah.
Boom, bam, bam, bam. It's like July 4th came early. But no, I wouldn't be surprised if we hear something about the Kings early next week in terms of a free agent move, because we got to think about it. They got both exceptions, the mid-level and what's the other one, the 5-point something or other exception they can use.
Trade exception?
They still got the trade exception that they can use as well. And so they have options and avenues to add to the roster. So,
were you trying to ask him about expectations for this year? I mean, you asked him about, or what, do you have expectations going into each year?
Yeah,
it's a fair question.
It's a fair question, but it's one that we'll have to follow up on when the roster is set. I kept it sort of open-ended a little bit because, you know, who knows what this team is going to look like? You know, if it looks like, you know, but based on what we're seeing, it's not looking like 20 wins is, you know, it's looking to be competitive in the Western Conference.
Yeah. So that was fun. We just talked to Scott Perry. Jerry Reynolds going to join us about 4:30 today. When we come back, the Jazz and Ace Bailey, are they headed for a showdown? We got some new info on that when we come back to SacTown Sports.
Do your summer plans include travel? Make sure your prep includes more than just flights and hotels. Stay up to date with COVID-19 vaccination, especially if you're 65 or older or have certain health conditions. There have been surges in COVID-19 in the summer, too. It's important to help protect yourself no matter your destination. So check eligibility and schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. That's VAXAssist.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Dick's epic 4th of July sale is on. Get summer ready with 25% off select Stanley drinkware, Get 20% off Igloo coolers and water bottles and select bog bags. Buy one, get one 50% off DSG coolers, canopies, chairs, and water bottles. $200 off Callaway AI smoke irons and TaylorMade QI10 drivers. These deals won't last. Stock up for summer now, in-store or online at Dicks.com. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
Alan Stiles here with your SacTown Sports injury update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Shea Langoliers, out with that strained left oblique, started a hitting progression, and Mark Kotze said that he's making a lot of good progress. Grant Holman, out with that right shoulder rotator cuff tendonitis, felt discomfort in his right shoulder after his outing, and an MRI revealed the tendonitis. At this time, there is no timeline for his return. That was your SacTown Sports injury update, brought to you by Downtown LA Law Group. Hey, I'm Alan Stiles. Have an injury? Call Downtown. Downtown LA Law Group, an injury law firm, has many happy clients in Sacramento and the surrounding areas who have called Downtown. Get paid for your injuries from slip and falls or auto accidents. One of their most recent settlements was $1.5 million for a motorcycle accident. Have you had an auto accident? Call Downtown. Text injury help to 40222. That's injury help to 40222 and visit them at calldowntown.com.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, there's a real chance of Jacob Wilson starting the All-Star game. As of the start of the A's current trip, he had a 250,000 vote lead at shortstop. Next up, the final vote of the top two finishers. If he wins that, he'll become the first A's shortstop to start the game in 50 years. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Abriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Hoblit Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center. Tickets and info at CITPFest.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex decking and railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options, heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's Trex.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Whitey here for Napoleon Grills, reminding you that when buying a new grill, every detail matters. While supplies last, you'll receive a $149 gift with purchase on every new Napoleon Prestige stainless steel grill. The kit even includes a pizza lover starter kit and much more. And now up to $79 off Napoleon Rogue models. Napoleon grills are built different, built better, built to last, with a lifetime warranty and premium steel that boasts amazing quality. Visit Green Acres Nursery today for your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories.
Get a great deal on your new Silverado at the Maida Chevy Silverado Superstore. Great selection, great factory financing and incentive, and great Maida Chevy savings on every new Silverado in stock. Online at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
Are you really that different than the rest of us?
We are. As a fiduciary, we always focus on what's best for our clients.
What services do you offer besides investing?
We have a team of specialists in financial planning, estate planning, and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, we ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Okay, but you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, because we believe that's a conflict of interest. We prioritize service over sales goals.
So then how do your fees work?
We have a simple and transparent fee that's a percentage of our clients' portfolios. So we do better when our clients do better.
Wow, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
You a silly chick, thought you was. Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
SacTown Sports.
Jerry Reynolds coming up today about 4:30. If you missed Scott Perry, might have to play that again at some point.
Yeah, got to play that again. Got to play that again.
Yeah, fascinating conversation with the Kings GM. Before we get any further, pardon me for not bringing this up sooner, how was the show last night?
The show was awesome, man. Got to see Wu-Tang Clan again and again. Shout out to Ghostface. Ghostface, Ramsey was the one that wasn't there, though. Depending on who you talk to, he either had a prior commitment or he was sick. I've heard two different stories, but it was amazing, man. It was a packed house. It was tremendous, man. And here's the thing, Whitey. I don't know if you have a music group that every time they play in the area you go see, but for me, it's Wu-Tang Clan.
Really?
Probably seen them about 10 times as a group, 20 times as individuals. Like, those are my guys.
That's awesome.
So,
but Ramsey, not so much. Apparently.
Yeah, Ramsey, but you know, he's a West Coast dude. He's not a the fact that Ramsey picked that song to play as a rejoiner tells me he's not a true Wu-Tang Clan fan right there.
There's a multitude of other Wu-Tang songs, but that one was the first one that came to mind this afternoon.
Is it true, Ramsey, that your dad gave you a Wu-Tang CD in high school and you took it back and exchanged it?
Yes, I did. And what I exchanged it for wasn't West Coast. It was for Notorious Big, Double Disc, Life After Death.
So did you even listen to that album at all? Like, did you and then say, I don't like it, I'm going to take it back? Like, explain that to me. How
did you unwrap it?
I unwrapped it. The Wu-Tang is good, don't get me wrong. It was, to me at that time, I just felt it was all over the place, and I had been wanting Life After Death for quite some time. So,
and so that must have been what? The double disc?
Yeah, it was a double disc. Life After Death.
Okay, so you, all right, okay. It was
it was high school, 90, I think it was like 95, 96. I can't remember.
Not the first album, 36 Chambers.
No, this is like 90.
If you return that.
No. This is like 95, 90.
Anthony up in here.
Yeah, no. It was like whenever Life After Death came out, I think that was like 95 or 96. I was in high school and I wanted Life After Death anyway. So.
Okay.
Ramsey has very, and I mean this as a compliment, he has very well-formed opinions, and he's not one to go, gee, I'm kind of okay with that team or that
he'll
guy.
Tell you,
Like, no, I think he stinks or they stink. Or I like this. You can like that. I don't like it. That's right.
I mean, even opinions can be wrong sometimes, right? You know?
Hey, everybody has an opinion.
Yep. And I was just going to hook him up with some tickets to the concert tomorrow, Earth, Wind, and Fire. He'll go to that, but won't go see Wu-Tang Clan right here in our own backyard.
First off, Earth, Wind, and Fire is where I was born in South Lake Tahoe, and I need to get back up to Lake Tahoe at least once a year, twice a year. Mm-hmm. And if you don't go see Earth, Wind, and Fire, Earth, Wind, and Fire is Earth, Wind, and Fire.
I know, I do want to go to that.
There's a difference. No disrespect to Wu-Tang. Earth, Wind, and Fire is Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Nah, that's disrespectful to Wu-Tang right there.
Yeah.
You missed out. If anybody was out there, text us, hit us up on the YouTube as well. I thought it was tremendous last night.
Awesome.
Yeah, awesome. Great time. Who's that art musical act for you that if they're around, you're going?
Probably like Paul McCartney, something like that.
Isn't he
he's not touring currently.
He's not touring?
I've seen him a lot. And he's really old now. I mean, bless him.
I feel like I just saw something with Paul McCartney somebody just put out. Interesting. Okay, that's your guy though. Huh?
Yeah, I think so. Or Foo Fighters. If Foo Fighters,
Foo Fighters. Yeah. You got to go see.
Yeah. What is your opinion? Not just you, Ramsey, but Drapes, dear listener. This whole Ace Bailey situation. Ace Bailey now plans to report to the Jazz as expected tomorrow. A team representative told ESPN. We had your guy Brian Windhorst today reporting that Bailey was absent from team activities, hinting at underlying tensions between the rookies camp and the Jazz front office. But now the Jazz came out today to say, oh, yeah, he's expected Saturday. We're good.
Right, everything's good. It's all. I'm not drawing too much into that. You know, it's June 27th, you know, and even if Ace Bailey wasn't happy and didn't want to go to Utah, He about to get paid.
Mm-hmm.
Once he starts getting those checks. And, dude, you're an NBA player. I mean, I think somebody will talk some sense into him, and he'll be fine.
Here's what Windhorst said today. The one thing I will tell you with confidence, Danny Ainge and his son Austin are not going to bend here. They're not going to get pushed around. They do not care what this situation might bring. So the idea that they're going to pressure the Jazz is something I don't think will be successful for Ace Bailey and his operation. But let's see how the next 72 hours plays out.
I think it's all to do about nothing. Now, if he didn't go this weekend, didn't attend the introductory press conference or something like that, but when's the last time that's really happened? Like an NBA player said, I'm not playing here.
Yeah.
After getting drafted.
Right after getting drafted.
After getting drafted.
Nobody comes to mind. I'm probably missing somebody.
Yeah, I can't even think of somebody pulling an Eli Manning.
Yeah, because once you're drafted, that's it.
Was Kobe that with Charlotte, and Charlotte drafted him, and
I think that was all prearranged, wasn't it? Even before, as I remember, everything was set up before the draft actually took place. But it sounds like they gave him a little wiggle room there so he could kind of save face. Like, oh yeah, as long as he shows up Monday, we got no problems, right?
Yeah,
they've made it clear we ain't bending. So you're showing up here or you're not gonna play.
Right.
All right. Okay, we're good.
We're good.
Yeah, he's in Monday. We're good.
We're good. Exactly. And once the games start happening and the fans start cheering him on, it'll be fine. But the problem, that Ace Bailey created for himself is he didn't work out for anybody. Like, and Jamel Hill raised a good point. And, if you didn't want to go to Utah, well, then work out for the other teams to make them more interested. Like, he didn't want to go to Philly. He didn't want to go to so many teams. Dude, what are you doing?
He wanted to go to Washington, didn't he? Doesn't it look like that's really where?
Yeah. I mean, that's in his backyard, close to home right there. And so it makes sense. But he's going to be good in Utah, man. Like, you could argue he's the second most talented, maybe even the most talented player in this year's draft. And so go there and be a legend.
Yeah.
And play out your first contract. And if you want to leave, leave.
But there's a lot of variance there with him.
Right. Yes.
As opposed to some of the guys like Scott Perry likes to draft where pretty much where they're going to be.
Right. His floor to ceiling is a lot of space
Bolted
in between.
Ceilings.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So that looks to be
looks
like that's the name of that dude. Let's see. Omar Cooper, his agent, said every NBA team watched him work out in Chicago. He did 18 interviews. Everyone got his medical. They watched him run and jump. They got his measurements. They watched him shoot in drills. Come on. What are we doing here?
Did you see his agent put out a video too? Like a video? I didn't really. Oh, shoot. Real quick. Shout out to our guy, Tony Ray Harvey.
Yeah?
He just tweeted about us. You want to know what he said?
Yes.
Best interview with Scott Perry thus far since the first round of the draft. Kevin and Kyle wasn't dilly-dallying around with the Inquisition. Straight to the point, meaningful questions. So, Tony Ray Harvey, and he reposted it for us. Shout out to a friend of the show, Tony Ray Harvey.
Thank you.
That's our guy.
And that guy he's a great guy. He's a journalist.
Journalist.
Yes.
That's what I like about him.
Yeah.
A journalist. Yeah. And shout out to Scott. Scott Perry texted me back, said, it was fun. He enjoyed it. And so we got the open invitation to Scott Perry, right?
Oh, that's nice.
Yes.
That's very nice. Yeah. When we come back, did the Kings really just draft Brad Miller with a better 3-point shot? Well, look at that when we come back on a Friday. Yay. SacTown Sports.
Don't forget my podcast.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
If you're not looking for a brand new car, at Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. We've kept only the best of our trades, and our buyer has found some of the finest pre-owned Hondas available in Northern California. You can see for yourself at elkgrovehonda.com. Whether you purchase a brand new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, your car buying experience will be the same. We have the right Honda at the right price. You'll find us in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So the kids' back to school lists were extra long.
Extra long sounds extra expensive.
Staples had everything at amazing prices.
Suspiciously amazing if you ask me.
Some items were just 25 cents. Plus, as an Easy Rewards member, I got 30% back in points on my kids' school supplies.
Jumpin' Jellyfish. Your back to school budget saved by Staples Easy Button. Staples.
That was easy.
In store, online, and on the app. In 719. Exclusions apply. Single use per week up to $60 in points. See app for details.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime. We're not here to be the biggest. We're here to bring you something we believe is better. Our plans start at just $20. You'll get the same fast nationwide coverage without the big wireless bill.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Skeeter here. Got a question. What's small and dark with white bands on its legs and bites during the day?
Mosquitoes. Hi, I'm Luz Maria Robles, but these are two new types of day-biting mosquitoes. They're invading our area and becoming a big problem.
And they can be dangerous.
But we're on it, so when you see them, report it at fightthebite.net. In the meantime, use insect repellent and drain stagnant water around your yard.
We're here to help with these day-biting mosquitoes.
Visit us at fightthebite.net.
Oh, and that's a hard foul. Let's listen for the call on the floor.
The taxpayer owes back taxes. Penalties and interest are assessed and wage garnishments to begin immediately.
The IRS never misses that call. I wonder if they will challenge it.
The call is under review.
Priority Tax Relief has been called in for a review. Priority is the best in the business at negotiating your tax debt and has even eliminated the debt for some clients. Priority Tax Relief is saving their clients millions of dollars every month.
After a careful review from Priority Tax Relief, the debt has been eliminated. No foul on the play.
Whoa! That completely changes the game, folks.
If you owe more than $5,000, call Priority Tax Relief, and in minutes they'll review your case for free with a direct line to the IRS to see if you qualify for life-changing relief. No more worrying about wage garnishments or frozen bank accounts. Call Priority Tax Relief today at 800-899-2289. That's 800-899-2289.
We make your tax relief our priority.
Call now. Priority Tax Relief. Hi, Sacramento. It's the No Surprise Guys at Bell Brothers Plumbing and Air Conditioning. Is your AC on the fritz? Call Bell Brothers. Looking to replace your old unit with a 0% financing and no payments for 12 months on approved credit? Call Bell Brothers. We're fast, reliable, and respect your time by showing up when we say we will. The price we quote is the price you pay. We are the No Surprise Guys. Call today to get a free estimate on a new HVAC system, or simply schedule your $87 AC Precision tune-up to keep your system running smoothly. With more technicians, more trucks, and more experience, we get the job done right the first time. No surprises. Our technicians are all background checked, drug tested, and will leave the work area cleaner than they found it. Don't wait. Call Bell Brothers today or book online at nosurpriseguys.com. That's nosurpriseguys.com.
Come check out Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Plenty of well-lit parking available, conveniently located in downtown Sacramento. And remember, Capital Casino has the best food, the best service, and the best action. 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com, and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
KHD HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
SacTown Sports, 1140. Your afternoon home for Kings Talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on SacTown Sports.
Hey, it's not a competition. Campy says, Earth, Wind, and Fire over Wu-Tang every day. Every day that ends in the letter Y. I've seen Earth, Wind, and Fire 9 times.
Campy, come on.
There's room for both.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. Thanks for being with us today. Drive Guys, we just talked to Scott Perry. We'll probably play that again for you. Tony Ray Harvey actually posted it. We'll have it up on our website. Amadrox says, what I am impressed with the most about Scott Perry is his willingness to converse with the media. I've heard him on the calls with the morning show and Drive Guys. He explains things in a way that is easy to digest.
Yes.
He's got that gift. He's a great communicator.
Right. Not ducking that smoke. Not shying away from the questions. And I love that because to me, that tells me he's the face of the moves that are being made. He's the guy, when you don't hear Monty or anybody like that, it's like, well, is it Vivek's move? Scott, like for instance, you fire Mike Brown. If you're Monty, come out and say, we made this decision instead of just leaving it hanging in the wind. Here's the thing. Scott went on the morning show for a couple of minutes yesterday. Got to point that out. He was on our show, 15 plus minutes. And so that's 2 media interviews on a radio station in 2 days. That's pretty impressive.
Right.
Yeah.
And we appreciate it, but obviously it's just good for the fans to get to hear in this critical period where so many fans are wondering what exactly is going on.
Right.
And it goes a long ways towards reestablishing that bridge to your fan base, to have the GM, the one who's making the decisions, among others, coming out saying, this is what we're doing. This is what we did. All right. You guys good? Hey, great. Thanks for your support. It's just smart.
Right.
It's just good business.
And Whitey, when it comes to media relations and PR, behind the scenes, the narrative and the thought is, if you want to be good at it, it doesn't matter what the question that they ask. It's how you answer it.
Mm-hmm.
And so no matter what questions we throw at him, Scott is a seasoned professional and he'll be able to massage it and it won't be bulletin board material or anything like that. And so, we not saying I'm a seasoned professional, but when you try to trap me on certain things, hey, like yesterday.
No. Yesterday, you were the one that I'd say things during the commercial breaks, and you go, as you just said a minute ago.
That's a little bit of payback. But it's like, you can answer every question. It's just how you answer it. And I think he does a good job in, putting things in the proper context, usage, verbiage, if you will, not to give us bulletin board shock material out there. Like he's really good at it.
Yeah. And he'll address the question rather
Right.
than kind of take it somewhere else. Like,
Right.
well, no, I actually want to talk about this because
Right.
I'm not going to answer your question.
Right.
So we appreciate that very much. What do you think of these comps that are getting thrown around? This happens all the time, but we had, and I think Scott Perry himself, even on draft night, talked about Nick Clifford and Doug Christie. And then as I mentioned earlier, I saw something at NBAdraftroom.com on Raynaud that said Brad Miller with a better 3-point shot. Pete Youngman, by the way,
what did he say on that?
Interesting response to that on X. Like, okay. So, he would know. He would know.
Yes.
So sometimes those things are too convenient. They're too easy to throw around. But I wanted to talk about them a little bit because obviously a lot of Kings fans can relate to that. We have some point of reference on those guys.
How about this? Our boy, Kevin O'Connor.
Yeah.
Did you see his comps?
I don't know that I did. I saw that he had a glowing review.
This was back on Thursday, June 12th. Kevin O'Connor. 2025 NBA Draft Scouting Report. Maxime Raynaud out of Stanford. Talks about his strengths, his weaknesses. But listen to these comps. This is according to Kevin O'Connor, people. Brooke Lopez, Rasheed Wallace.
Boy, I don't see
I'm just we talking about comps.
I know.
I'm just telling you what Kevin
I know you
KOC
are. And I
said.
appreciate that. I tried to just kind of give it to Pete Youngman. You're like, okay, but I
That's why I had to say it. If it was like somebody else that we like, he said Lopez and Rasheed Wallace.
Well, Lopez went to Stanford, right? But other than that, I mean, I don't think that's a slight necessarily to say he does not remind me of Rasheed Wallace. Maybe he will someday.
Yeah.
I think Rasheed Wallace, and I know you knew him.
That's my guy.
I think he was underrated.
100% underrated. If he was a little more selfish, he'd be a surefire Hall of Famer, had the talent. In terms of Raynaud, this is what O'Connor says. In addition, talking about ball handling, in addition to traditional big man moves like the hook shots and everything, it's not often a player his size can move as fluidly as he does as a shot creator. Whether he's ball faking, then attacking the closeout.
See, but that's what I was talking about earlier. And as you said, well, he's not really athletic, but he does do some nice things when he puts it on the deck.
Exactly. A better comp, and this is no shade to any. This guy is a pretty solid player, like a Mo Wagner type. You think just a little more size in terms of ability to put the ball on the floor a little bit, make the pass. If he has the toughness of Mo Wagner, I like that. I think it's a good pick. And here's the thing about it, Whitey. This is a second-round pick. That's a 20-10 big man that fills an area of need that when you look at his position, it looks like he's taking Trey Lyles' position. He could play the 4 or the 5 out there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, defensively, that's the question. Can he defend on the other end?
Yeah. Why do you think he fell? A little bit. It wasn't like a precipitous drop or anything.
That's a great question. I have no idea. O'Connor got a pretty thorough breakdown. He talks about some of his concerns: ball control, post offense, mid-range shooting. Says he doesn't take a whole lot of mid-range shots. Defensive production. While his size allows him to alter shots, he lacks explosive leaping ability. He relies more on positioning and verticality. That's where I get the Mo Wagner comparison also too.
Mm-hmm.
Mo's not a leaper or shot blocker, but he's a very good position defender.
Do you know who Roxy Bernstein is? Roxy does ESPN.
Roxy's my guy.
Oh, really?
He was with Pac-12 Network. Yeah.
I used to work with Roxy.
Yeah.
So I posted that very comp, I think, the Brad Miller comp today on X, and Roxy responded to me. He said, really like this pickup for Kings. He's got really good footwork and highly skilled, terrific passer for a big man like Miller. So then I asked him, well, can he guard, at the NBA level? Roxy said, great question, to be determined. He's got the length and strength to be a capable defender, solid anticipation to block shots, takes up space, really good rebounder, knows how to use his body. So that's somebody who saw him play a lot in college, saying, oh, yeah.
Play-by-play
really
Roxy,
pick.
right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Play-by-play.
ESPN, and as you said, he used to be with the Pac-12 Network, and he's done a ton of stuff for Cal because he went to Cal.
Oh, did he? Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I think it's now, mind you, he's not going to come in and average 20 and 10, but what he will do, I think, to me, he's probably to start out a 10-minute a night kind of guy, 10 to 12 minutes a night, whereas I think Neek can get you 15 minutes a night. But this is a guy, as you transition going forward with that center position, if you're Scott Perry, if you make some moves in a year or two, whatever, this guy can slide in. I look at Raynaud as a 10 to 12, 13-year NBA veteran, solid NBA player for his career.
Mm-hmm. To me, it just seems incongruous that you have Portland taking Yang Hansen where they did, right? And then you don't have Raynaud going until 42.
Yeah, why is
fortunate for the Kings that it worked out that way, but it's just a little odd.
Because most mocks had Raynaud being drafted before Hansen.
Mm-hmm.
So
I saw another scouting report that compared him to, Dave might have posted this, said like, well, he's not that different from Zach Edey or Klingon. That would be nice.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I have to think if he fell, it was because primarily of concerns over his defense. I mean, I'm just guessing.
You're just guessing.
A guy with that skill level and that put up those numbers, I would guess. But sometimes teams get scared off when a player starts falling, right?
Right.
And they take him. Maybe we shouldn't take him.
How about this? All right. Bleacher Report. Raynaud. First of all, he ranks 35 on Jonathan Wasserman's big board. This was going into the draft. How about
just going in? So 35 overall?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. That's pretty good.
Realistic pro comparison.
Mm-hmm.
Quentin Post.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
What do you think?
Yeah,
you like that? Is
he's
that
a little
good?
bigger. I think he's a little bigger, maybe stronger. But that was one of the things I thought of.
Yeah, and is that a positive? How do you view that? Negative? What do you?
I think it's good.
Post was actually pretty decent.
He was.
Yeah, he showed something. No, I'm with you on that. I think if he can be a Quentin Post, I think that's huge. Because Post, we've seen it. I think against us, Post had a big game, knocking down threes. Yeah. Some of the weaknesses, talk about athleticism, off dribble shooting, can't shoot really off the dribble, they're saying, shot blocking. But
how many times do you want your center shooting off the dribble anyway?
Exactly. No, he'll be fine, man. And like I said, a lot of his shots will come off of Zach, DeMar, Malik, even Domas. He'll get some good looks, I think.
It's amazing. I know the old cliche is it's a make or miss league, but so many of these guys, and I think it applies to both guys that Kings drafted, how far they're going to go in the NBA to a big extent depends on whether they're able to make shots, right? That seems self-explanatory, but it's huge for so many players, and especially those guys.
Huge for Sacramento, right?
Yeah.
Like, we haven't had guys that could hit shots consistently. We've had shooters, guys that could make shots, but then they get ice cold. If we could get somebody consistently, like a Raynaud coming in, he's going to be on the floor.
Yeah.
If Nick Clifford can knock down, and it's not, like I said yesterday, you ain't got to knock down the step backs. Just knock down the open shots to keep the defense honest.
If Nick Clifford can develop a consistent three-point shot, he could conceivably be a starter on certain teams.
Nice little 3-and-D guy.
Yeah.
Dorian Finney-Smith kind of player out there. Okay. I like that. I'm with you on that.
Yeah.
I'm with you.
And as we said, one thing the Kings have managed, no matter where this goes, they've managed to get younger. And I don't know. I just think that was vitally important, Drapes, to just get a sense to kind of turn it over a little bit. It helps you financially as well. We don't talk about that as much because, it's kind of dry, but it really helps to refresh the roster. And so far, given where they were picking, you had the 42nd pick. You ended up with 2 players in this draft. I think they got a lot accomplished here.
Well, and here's the thing. We now have, let's throw Devin Carter in there. Let's throw Keon Ellis in there. Let's throw Keegan Murray in there. Now you're talking 5 players under the age of 25 that still are developing and growing that could turn into really quality starters for you. And so, to your point, one of the knocks of the Kings is our youth was kind of bare. We were kind of thin when it comes to young players. Now you got 2 guys, 23 and 22, that still has upside. I think that's encouraging.
I think if I were a GM, which is hard to imagine, and you can imagine how that would go, but I think I would also lean towards picking guys that were a little older. When you have guys 18, 19, there's so many variables. They don't even know yet. Nobody knows how good they're going to be, because there's just so much that has to happen before they're even NBA caliber players. And I get it. You bet on the upside. That's fine, but I would not be shy about picking players that have played a little. Clifford's like a super senior, right? 5 years?
5 years. Yeah, and Raynaud 4. But the issue, Whitey, is you look at the lottery, it's one and dones. It's young players.
Right.
Those guys already went. And then it's like, all right, now let's go with the older guys. And so it's almost better if using your philosophy, not saying you don't want a lottery pick, but it depends on the team. Like if I'm Charlotte, if I'm, Utah, I want the young guys. Because I need guys that their ceiling is much higher and much greater, the potential, because you're trying to hit. Of course, yeah. But when you're drafting late first round, second round, you're just looking for a solid NBA player. Like it's like, I forget who we had on yesterday talking about, I think it was yesterday or 2 days ago, talking about the lottery ticket, if you will. They view second rounders as lottery tickets. I view second rounders.
That was
who was that?
Cameron Salerno.
Oh yeah, Cam.
Yeah.
I'm gonna push back on that just a little bit. I feel like, especially with this Kings organization and where we are roster wise, we need sort of steady bond stocks, bonds out there. You know what I mean? I don't need to play the stock market and then, because if you waste that 42 pick, which happens all the time in the NBA, But that doesn't help you if you need young help right now if you're Sacramento.
Yeah. And the other thing is, it's a reminder, we all know this, but when it comes to the drafts, nobody knows. I remember doing Warrior stuff, and they had that second pick, and Halliburton was available. And a lot of people said, wow, he's really good. But the consensus was 2 is way too high to take him. Why? Because low ceiling, high floor. That's what was said about him. Same thing was said about Franz Wagner. And I know he's still a work in progress. But see, that was just wrong.
Yeah, wrong.
Franz Wagner is one of those guys. Jerry Reynolds told me this, like, he's better in the pros than he was in college.
Yeah, right.
You just can't anticipate something like that. But it does happen.
Yeah. How about this, Whitey from the 916? Geez, guys, you drink any Kool-Aid, wouldn't you? Way overhyping this.
I don't think we are. We're looking at the potential upside.
Right. And nobody's saying, Raynaud's going to come in here and average 20 and play 30 minutes, but he's a solid player. Like, this is a guy that should be in the top 10 in the rotation.
We also said on this very program, we both agreed if one of these two guys is a rotation piece going forward, that's a win.
Yep.
If one of them.
Exactly.
That is a Kool-Aid free take right there.
Exactly. And we'll see him 2 weeks from today or yesterday. Did you see the Summer League schedule is out?
I saw it, yeah.
Yeah, so we opened less than 2 weeks.
Yeah, and I saw that the big Summer League season opener on ESPN is
Cooper
Ronnie
Flag.
Cooper
Flag. Lakers, man. Hey, it's going to be packed out, Whitey. I think we're playing at the same time. I think we start at 5, I think, and they start at 5:30 in the other gym or something. I'm going to miss it. I'll go over and see the end. But it's going to be packed out over there.
Trapes, maybe you were at the game. I remember watching this on TV, and it was much hyped, and it was 1 versus 2. DeAndre Ayton against Marvin Bagley.
Oh, I didn't see it. I wasn't there. Did Bagley put in work that one?
I don't even remember.
Yeah.
I think he did all right.
Remember, what was it, last year? Sar versus Risache.
I don't even remember
that. Was brutal, man. It was ugly. It was awful, man. But even remember, Wembanyama's debut was awful, too. People were, clowning him. And so, but they'll be packed out to see Bronny and Cooper.
And Drapes, they love to banish the Kings to the Cox Pavilion rather than put them in Thomas and Mack to begin with.
Dude, all last year, I don't think we played one game in Thomas and Mack. We were always in the auxiliary gym.
No, the Kings played the last game at Thomas and Mack.
Did they?
It was like that Tuesday or Wednesday night game that we were there that they played. But everything else, like you said, they banished them to the small gym, Cox Pavilion.
Yep.
Chris Memetag here in the YouTube chat says, Raynaud is the next Larry Markkinen. Now, I didn't say that. Drapes didn't say that. Thank you, Chris.
On, stop that.
JT Money 916. I'm happy with every pick, even the undrafted free agent from Auburn. Now, that's where I will draw the line a little bit, and nothing against Dylan Cardwell. But, it's not hard to find some fans that are going, oh, my goodness, this guy's good.
Did you see his tape, Whitey? Did you see his highlight reel?
A lot of
his mixtape,
defensive highlights.
Right, that's what I'm saying. This guy's a monster. He's a beast defensively. His motor is high defensively.
How about the other end of the floor?
I mean, I got to see what Kevin O'Connor. I got to see what KOC says. Let me see here what Kevin O'Connor says. No, not skilled, big man. I wonder what's his comps. NBA scout boldly compares. Oh no, that was Zach Edey and Raynaud. They're talking about. I need to see what Kevin O'Connor says about him and if he hypes him up or not.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. That's nice. Like, okay, take a flyer, but we just can't get carried away with it. Isaac Nogues, 6'5",
great defender, supposedly.
Yes,
right?
Exactly.
Right. And was it you that asked Scott Perry about the defense and just all the guys, at least 3 of the 4, have made a name for themselves defensively. And I think it's clear as day that that's a priority for Scott.
Yeah.
You got to be able to play defense out here.
Yeah. And that Doug Christie's just like totally on board with that.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes.
Come on, man. I'm trying to find Dylan Cardwell's comps, if you will.
It looks like for a guy that they signed him to a 2-way already, right? And no guess is a 10-day with a chance to earn a 2-way.
Exhibit 10.
Exhibit 10.
Yeah, which I forget what that is, but Exhibit 10.
I believe that gives him a chance to earn
the two-way. Yeah.
So those are nice such moves, but let's just not get carried away and act like the Kings got 4 starters.
Well, do you think, with the moves the Kings made, though, there's a reason to look forward to Summer League? Like, remember last year, Devin Carter, but he didn't play.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, our Summer League roster, it was like, let's see what Mason Jones.
It's just
and
too bad we don't have the what this year. What? The Classic, the California Classic. By the way, JT Money coming back at me. Obviously, he hasn't seen the tape. High character guy too. So I appreciate JT Money 916 and his affinity for Dylan Cardwell. I'll do a little more research.
Yeah, you gotta do your research, man.
I'm just saying, all I'm saying is let's not get carried away.
Where are you getting your info on Cardwell? Who's dissing him out there?
No one's dissing him, but I read somewhere where, and I have to check who was a scout or somebody said he has like no offensive game. So that's just tough.
Man, that's tough.
He was a big part of a very successful program, no question. But going to the next level, gets a little tougher. That's all I'm saying.
Here you go, right here. This is from NBA.com. The Athletics top 75 prospects.
Top 75, okay.
Cardwell's listed as 50 on their top 75. Cardwell was pushed into a secondary role because the second best player in college basketball plays the same position. He's a big body who blocks shots at an extremely high rate, crashes the offensive glass, and shows some passing acumen.
Okay.
Cardwell cannot shoot at all, and he basically.
I'd say he what? What was that?
He's not a scorer, but he's a bruiser, a rebounder, a defensive-minded guy. He basically only shoots within 5 feet. However, further out on the floor, he's surprisingly adept at setting up others. Try finding another 260-pound center who hands out 3 assists for every turnover. High assist-to-turnover ratio.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big picture, we're talking about a fifth-year senior who averaged 5 points a game, but the defense might allow him to be a roster player who fills a role as a fifth big. That's according to NBA.com.
So if you're a fifth-year senior who can defend, Scott Perry has scouted you, hasn't he?
Yeah, that's you're right. You're right. Unique is the same way.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so you're with JT Money 916.
No,
on Dylan Cardwell.
We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see.
I'm keeping an open mind.
I mean, here's the thing. Every year there are undrafted guys who make rosters and turn into something.
Yeah.
I don't know if this is, but the thing I like about Cardwell is that he has a specific skill set. He's not, we don't know what he is. You throw him in the game. If you're Doug Christie, I need defense, I need rebounding, I need energy. Cardwell, check in for me.
Would you say in recent years the Kings have done a pretty good job of finding those guys that are undrafted? And
yeah, they have.
I'd been assuming that, that's Monty, and certainly if he was here, he deserves some credit for it. But maybe some of the people that have been doing that are still there, right?
Oh, behind the scenes? Yes.
Scouting department and stuff.
Yeah. They didn't clear the entire house. Yeah,
right.
They kept some guys. Yeah, and to your point, they've done a good job, and so I'm glad Scott kept those guys around.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be better if they'd also done well when they had the high picks.
Right.
Rather than just hitting on the guys that are undrafted.
That's a different department right there. That's a different crew making those decisions.
The Kings draft obviously earned them some glowing reviews, but coming up, we'll look at one that is not one of them.
Really?
What's that about next on SacTown Sports?
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV wins.
What, are you going to take the RV to the mountains or go pick up your dry cleaning?
RV wins!
Are we cleaning the gutters or taking the RV camping?
RV wins!
Are we getting a new passport or cruising up the coast?
RV wins!
Don't forget, you got that trip to Sweden coming up.
Oh, yeah, passport, then RV.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates, other insurers, not available in all states and situations.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Jane has 150,000 miles on her truck, and she's proud of that. Jane's secret? AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help her find the right parts. Jane's brother Josh only cares that his car starts and goes, but when it doesn't, he also goes to AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help with free services. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
The Hagen Oaks Cutting Edge Putter Fitting Studio offers you more technology, more choices, and more service. Hagen Oaks wants to be your go-to total golf game fitter. With $30,000 worth of state-of-the-art technology ready for your fitting, Hagen Oaks will help you make your best putting stroke while finding the best putter design, shape, hosel, length, and loft for your game. Schedule your fitting at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531 for more.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex decking and railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options, heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's Trex.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
The Hagen Oaks Cutting Edge Putter Fitting Studio offers you more technology, more choices, and more service. Hagen Oaks wants to be your go-to total golf game fitter. With $30,000 worth of state-of-the-art technology ready for your fitting, Hagen Oaks will help you make your best putting stroke while finding the best putter design, shape, hosel, length, and loft for your game. Schedule your fitting at the Hagen Oaks Player Performance Studio by calling 916-808-2531. That's 808-2531 for more.
Summer savings explode at latest Elk Grove Chevy. Save $12,000 off MSRP after rebates. Every new 2025 Silverado half-ton LT and RST in stock exclusively at MadeAChevy.com. Now that's big, huge. Together, let's drive.
Deal for details. At Kids Care Dental and Orthodontics, we're all about providing summer smiles. During June, we're offering a Summer Smiles special: $149 off braces or $250 off Invisalign, and a chance to win Legoland tickets. Go to kidscaredental.com for more information.
Baseball, fireworks, and patriotic fun. Join the Sacramento Rivercats on July 3rd for our Independence Eve extravaganza, presented by Budweiser. It's a summer tradition packed with fireworks, baseball, friends, family, and unforgettable memories. Bring the whole crew and enjoy America's pastime under the lights, followed by a post-game fireworks show lighting up the Sacramento skyline. It's the perfect way to kick off Independence festivities. Lock in your tickets for July 3rd at rivercats.com.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests, Mitchell Tenpenny, Locash, Vincent Mason, and Avriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Hoblet Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center. Tickets and info at CITPFest.com.
Hey, movie fans, get ready for the most authentic racing film there's ever been. F1, the IMAX experience.
They're saying Sonny Hayes isn't a husband. He's a never was.
Starring Brad Pitt, F1 the movie puts you in the driver's seat of high-octane drama and speed. Filmed for IMAX, feel the rush of the track like never before on the Esquire IMAX 6-story screen with horsepower audio. Get your reserved seats today at IMAX.com/Sacramento. F1 playing this week at the Esquire IMAX Theater.
Big weekend potentially for the Kings and Keon Ellis. We just talked to Scott Perry today, completed the draft, of course, signed a couple players that were undrafted, got free agency coming up, but they also have this. Sacramento holding the team option on Keon Ellis for the 25-26 season that could keep him with the Kings for the bargain salary of $2.3 million. Sacramento must exercise that option by June 29th, Drapes. So I don't know what they want to do. Just because,
Keon Ellis?
Yeah, if they don't exercise the option, that doesn't mean necessarily that he's gone.
Right,
But
right.
they've got to decide how they want to play that, obviously. If the Kings do not pick up their option, Ellis becomes a restricted free agent, which would allow him to negotiate with other teams. Kings would retain the ability to match the best offer. So
restricted, yeah.
We will see how they decide to play that. It's hard for me to believe that Keon Ellis is going anywhere.
No, exactly. And the thing is, his contract is so team friendly. I mean, it's a no-brainer to pick up the option and then negotiate on an extension.
Yes.
I'm not at the point where I'm like, restricted, you go out there and see what you can get. What if somebody offers them $10 million a year, 15? Like, who knows?
Yeah.
And so it makes sense to pick up the option.
If Sacramento exercises the option, Ellis would become eligible for an extension on February 9th, 2026.
Okay.
And if the Kings cannot work out an extension with Ellis, he would then be an unrestricted free agent next offseason. The smart move, the thing that seems to make the most sense is, you exercise the option, then February. Let's talk about it.
Right, and exactly.
Yeah.
Dude, why is somebody coming at you on the text line there?
Because it's Friday. I don't know.
On the 209.
Because they're a jackal on the text line?
From Lodi, Stockton.
Lodi?
Whitey's still mad the Warriors didn't get a pick in the draft.
I didn't even know who they...
I don't even know what they...
who they picked. I didn't.
You're not up on the Warriors.
Not following them as closely as I did at one time.
I tell you what. I tell you, people talk about us getting overhyped for our draft picks. Did you see what your boy Bonte posted?
I did not.
Bonte posted it like they drafted the second coming of Steph Curry last night. And I get it.
Was the guy Tui they got?
Yeah, Tui.
Yeah.
Let me see what Bonte said last night. I mean, he was so high on this guy, Tui, last night. It might have been on Instagram, so you'll have to give me a minute. No, he's just
looking for anything to talk about besides the Giants right now.
Exactly. Right. Reeling right now, the reeling Giants. And so, no, he's hyping up Tui like he's, like I said, he's Steph Curry coming.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to apologize to Ramsey because he's wearing his Giants hat today, his City Connect. And I didn't mean to take we're used to Jay over there. Jay's leading the charge, the anti-Giant charge. Ramsey actually, he's a fan of the orange and black, right?
I am. No offense taken. Hey, they got swept by the Marlins. It happens. I mean, it's baseball.
Own it, right?
And they look bad, doing it, especially yesterday getting swept, getting beat 12-5.
Rub some dirt on it.
And they got owned by Hernandez and the other. I'll come back to it, but yeah, they got owned by two batters in the entire series by the Marlins. It was terrible.
Well, the Giants realized they aren't supposed to be good. And so they started coming back down to earth. What are they, 3-7 their last 10?
It happens.
Everybody was all hyped. We got Devers. It's going to be, here we come. Shoot.
They're in good spot in that wild card chase. Back to Keon Ellis. Did you see what Keon Ellis posted on X today?
About recommendations? Or?
Yeah. Good show suggestions.
Oh, yeah.
Popcorn emoji.
What do you think that's about?
I think he's just he's going to chill this weekend.
Or is he traveling?
Worry about?
Is he traveling or something? He might be hopping on a flight somewhere. We don't know.
Huh.
I hate stuff like that because it can be taken in any different way.
That never even crossed my mind.
That never crossed your mind? I thought he was legitimately looking for show recommendations.
I took it as legitimately like, hey, what's going on? But then when you start thinking, what does
he does he mean, he's going to be hold up, waiting to see if his option is picked up or what?
Uh-huh.
Nah, I told
him about the show that I told you guys about, the Pit. I said, you won't see a better show. Let's
you actually
see.
tweeted at him?
Yeah.
Let me see.
Is it Suits that got a lot of run? I just looked at some of the mentions.
But not Suits LA, right? Like Suits LA, people are like dissing. The original Suits is supposed to be good. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I haven't watched the new show. I told you, Yellowstone was the last thing I started, and that show's been out for 10 years.
Isn't that a really good show, though?
It is. It really is. It really is. I slept on it. I watched like the first episode and a half, and I was like, and then I came back to it a year later and was like, all right, let me give it another shot. And so, yeah.
We know that Kings got some great reviews for the draft. I have in my hand a review of the Kings draft that is not favorable, and I believe it was put together by a guy that we had on our show not long ago, Kevin Pelton.
What did he say?
Kevin Pelton, Kings. You see the grade right there?
Oh, my gosh.
I think it's about the fourth lowest grade he had for any team in the draft, a C for the Kings. Having sent the 13th pick to Atlanta to complete the Herter trade, Kings tapped into the extra first-rounders coming from the Fox deal to get back in the first round. He says, my model, a lot of this is based on whatever his statistical model was.
Oh,
so no, a lot of people are out right there, right?
Kevin
Like, yeah,
Pelton
I don't care.
Yeah.
My model was lower on Clifford than Scouts because he didn't emerge as a serious NBA prospect until his 5th year of college at age 23. Time will tell how much of that was Clifford legitimately improving his skill as opposed to utilizing an experience advantage that won't carry over. In other words, yeah, he was great because he was older than all the guys he was playing against. Scouts were also higher on Raynaud, largely because of his subpar block rate for a center. But my model missed on Quentin Post last year, and Raynaud brings a similar skill set after hitting 67 three-pointers as a senior. Overall grade for the Kings, C.
C, huh?
Kevin Pelton. Yeah, not impressed.
ESPN's Kevin Pelton. What is his model, though? That's the thing. And the fact that his model takes into account.
You said like banter.
No, I mean, it's just his model. Like you could I could come up with a model for anything, Whitey, and make it reflect something. No offense. This is the problem with sports. How does Kevin Pelton have a model? There's too many people out there. We got Kevin Pelton, Kevin O'Connor, Cameron Salerno, everybody. There are some randoms on social media. I had this guy number 7 on my big board.
Yes.
Like, dude, you in your mom's basement, with your big chalkboard and your whiteboard and everything. That don't make it.
I give them credit. They've found a way to carve a niche in the podcast scape, in the social media scape. There's such an appetite for it, and it's not easy to do, but some of these guys have found a way.
How do we know they know basketball?
I don't know that they
What's
do.
their credential?
It's almost not even the point.
It's frustrating, man.
Who are you to go there when you are the one responsible for Kevin O'Connor? You created him.
Dude, I thought he stayed in this nice little corner there in Boston. I didn't know I created a monster, out there. I'm like, when the last time Kevin O'Connor done went to a gym and, put a guy through a workout? Or I don't know, man. I'm not going to diss him.
Well, let's look at it this way, and we'd have to remember. So, we don't have all the notes in front of us, but we've been talking to guys like that and social media guys and podcasters, prognosticators for weeks.
Yeah.
So which of the ones that we've talked to can we look back and go, hey, he was right? Is there anybody that we can talk
about,
about what was going to happen or who was going to be drafted?
No.
How about
Jake Fisher?
Yeah. How about Rafi Barlow?
Oh, our boy.
Who said, I hear the Kings are really actively trying to trade into the first round. Remember that?
Yep. He was huge on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Nailed it.
To me, all right, I'm not going to say this, but did you see what somebody said on the 970? Where's that at? Is that new Sacramento?
Are they still coming after me?
No, his motto is a hamster in a wheel with letters all around the floor, and let him go. That's
whatever works.
It works.
He's getting paid for it.
Right. He's getting aggregated out there and everything. Yeah. Oh, come on, Kevin Pelton.
The bottom line is nobody has any idea, and yet we're so hungry for material.
Right.
Kevin Pelton says it gives the Kings a C. Nobody has any idea.
Everybody's putting out content.
Let's grade next year's Kings draft already.
Yeah, you can
I
do
give
it.
a B minus.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They may not even have a pick, but it's a B minus.
B minus. That's what we say.
Oh my gosh.
Mm-hmm. It'll be fun when we actually get to see what this roster is going to look like, get a clearer idea, which we may have as soon as next week, right?
Yeah, I mean, free agency, what? On Monday?
Monday at 3 is when it officially starts.
And I will say, though, Whitey.
Yeah, this Schroeder thing is happening, too. You're all over that.
Oh,
that is like this close.
I told you that 2 months ago, big fella.
One of the first things going to be like, yep.
I tell you, if it happens, never question me again. That's it. Yeah. I'm beyond reproach. You cannot doubt anything I say.
I'm giving you credit now. It hasn't even happened yet. We're giving you credit.
But Schroeder makes too much sense. And I know there are people within the organization that love Dennis Schroeder. Give the thumbs up to Dennis Schroeder. So it just makes too much sense. If you can't find that young guy for the next 5 to 8 years. But
one thing that doesn't look like it's going to happen, it doesn't look like the Kings are going to find their long-term point guard this year.
That's what it seems like, right?
Yeah.
Right? Unless they swing a trade for Emmanuel Quickly or somebody like that, which I think is highly unlikely, it could be just a stopgap year.
I wonder if one of the things the Nets were thinking is using all 5 draft picks in the first round, which a lot of people are just baffled by. And 3 point guards? Maybe they're thinking, we're going to corner the market on these young point guards, and we'll let them play against each other, and we'll maybe pick the best one, and then the other ones teams are going to want.
Well, you remember how that worked out for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
I do remember that. I do.
Years ago, who was it, Rubio and Johnny Flynn back in the day?
Yeah.
And who they leave on the board? Steph Curry. Was that Steph Curry's year?
Yeah.
As well?
That was Curry and Harden.
Yeah. So, Brooklyn, man, good luck with that. The thing is, none of them may stick, though, because you're talking late first rounders. 4 of their 5 picks came after 19 and later. So none of them may stick.
We'll come back with a look at Cooper Flagg versus Bronny next on SacTown Sports.
Oh, and that's a hard foul. Let's listen for the call on the floor.
The taxpayer owes back taxes. Penalties and interest are assessed and wage garnishments to begin immediately.
The IRS never misses that call. I wonder if they will challenge it.
The call is under review.
Priority Tax Relief has been called in for a review. Priority is the best in the business at negotiating your tax debt and has even eliminated the debt for some clients. Priority Tax Relief is saving their clients millions of dollars every month.
After a careful review from Priority Tax Relief, the debt has been eliminated. No foul on the play.
Whoa! That completely changes the game, folks. If you owe more than $5,000, call Priority Tax Relief, and in minutes they'll review your case for free with a direct line to the IRS to see if you qualify for life-changing relief. No more worrying about wage garnishments or frozen bank accounts. Call Priority Tax Relief today at 800-899-2289. That's 800-899-2289.
We make your tax relief our priority.
Call now. Priority Tax Relief.
Do your summer plans include travel? Make sure your prep includes more than just flights and hotels. Stay up to date with COVID-19 vaccination, especially if you're 65 or older or have certain health conditions. There have been surges in COVID-19 in the summer, too. It's important to help protect yourself no matter your destination. So check eligibility and schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. That's VAXAssist.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Dick's epic 4th of July sale is on. Get summer ready with 25% off select Stanley drinkware. Get 20% off Igloo coolers and water bottles and select bog bags. Buy one, get one 50% off DSG coolers, canopies, chairs, and water bottles. $200 off Callaway AI smoke irons and TaylorMade QI10 drivers. These deals won't last. Stock up for summer now, in-store or online at Dicks.com. Some exclusions apply. See store for details.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Progressive knows if you have to choose between everyday life and your RV, RV wins.
What are you going to take the RV to the lake or clean out your closet.
RV wins!
Putting the dishes away or taking the RV camping.
RV wins!
Cleaning the fridge or taking a trip to the beach.
RV wins!
You might want to clean the fridge real quick because, mold.
We clean out the fridge, then take the RV out.
With Progressive, you can bundle your RV with your home or auto and save with a discount and spend more time enjoying those savings in your RV. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states and situations.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. It's the Sleep Number 4th of July sale. Save over $600 on our King P5 smart bed, our lowest price of the season. Plus, get free home delivery with most smart beds, limited time. All Sleep Number smart beds offer temperature solutions for your best sleep. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here for Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room, inviting you to come join them every Wednesday for their midweek madness drawing, giving away $2,000 in total cash starting at 6 p.m. It's a safe and friendly environment, plenty of well-lit parking available, and it's conveniently located right there in downtown Sacramento. And remember, best food, best service, best games, 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, there's a real chance of Jacob Wilson starting the All-Star game. As of the start of the A's current trip, he had a 250,000 vote lead at shortstop. Next up, the final vote of the top 2 finishers. If he wins that, he'll become the first A's shortstop to start the game in 50 years. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
Opener on ESPN. It'll be a doubleheader, and the main attraction is Cooper Flagg versus Bronny.
Woo!
Yes. You'll be there for that?
I need to look at the schedule. I think we got radio then, so we'll be on the air when they tip off, I believe. Let me pull up the big schedule. And the Kings play at the same time, Whitey. I got it right here. On Thursday, July 10th. Orlando, Sacramento at 4:30. Lakers, Dallas at 5. So I may have to go back and forth.
Maybe.
I'll go back and forth.
Maybe.
Yeah, I got to support my Kings. I'm going to be out there. I'll watch all of the Kings game and then catch the end of Lakers, Dallas.
Yeah. We talked to Scott Perry today. We're going to have that again for you a little after 5. What did you think of his answer to my question about what he's looking for from players in Summer League?
What did he say?
I'm looking for guys to come in, get acclimated a little bit, and be competitive.
Be competitive. Yeah. And I'm with Scott on this because when you look at Summer League, the numbers to me aren't that important. Oh, this guy scored 22 points or this guy scored 4 points. It's how does he look on the court, especially when you look at the guys we pick. I don't think any of our guys are going to come in and be offensive like savants out there putting up big numbers. But will they get some deflections? Will they hustle for loose balls? Will they grab rebounds? Some of the dirty stuff.
Do they have an impact on the game?
Right, exactly. That's
above and beyond the numbers.
The numbers. Because what happens in Summer League, so many guys think the way to stand out is to get buckets. But those guys usually aren't the best basketball players for your team. Like, we don't need Raynaud to come out there and shoot 10 to 12 threes and just jack it up. Dude, if he makes the right play, if I'm Scott or Doug, that's all I'm asking for, man.
Mm-hmm. You know who was a great summer league player? It's your guy, Mac McClung. He was a good summer league player.
Yeah, and we had one person say, why not Mac McClung as our starting point guard? Yeah, he's one of those guys.
I remember Caruso, too. He might have played here. I remember Caruso in summer league. I remember watching him going, really? And then, I was like, wow, yes.
Did he play well in summer league?
Yeah, I believe he did. Yeah.
And you could just tell, man, certain guys belong and certain guys don't. Some guys look, can't get a shot off, turn the ball over, that kind of thing. I just want our guys, like Scott said, to just compete, play solid NBA basketball, man.
Yeah.
Because you're not going to, let's keep it real, Whitey. You ain't going to earn minutes in summer league for the regular season. If you drop 30 in summer league, that don't mean you're going to get 25 minutes come. And so I would rather a prospect, a player, just show me their basketball IQ. Like you said, impact the game, winning plays.
Yeah, and show that you are capable of handling the speed of the game. Because you know how it is. Everything is ratcheted up because everybody's better. And that's not even, it's nothing close to what you're going to face at the NBA level.
Right.
But everything goes faster. And, you can see some guys are like, takes them a little while to get acclimated. Everything's just happening like, James Wiseman, to me, especially when he started out, just defensively, everything was just half a beat slow.
Yeah. Did he look bad in summer league too? Did he,
I don't remember in summer league. I just remember when he first started, you could see, he could put up numbers and people say, look at that shot.
Right.
But you watch him on defense and just half a beat slow. It wasn't for lack of effort or anything. It's just like he just couldn't keep up. And so that's one of the things in summer league you got to see if it
keep an eye on
I'm
that.
good.
Right.
I'm good. The
Right.
speed of game is nothing. Cooper Flagg says it is a blessing to be the rare number one overall pick who is not the centerpiece of a rebuilding franchise. What do you think of that notion?
I love that for him. Yeah, I think so. It reminds me of Kawhi Leonard with Tim Duncan and the boys.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You got AD. Ideally, you're going to have Kyrie come back mid-season. And, they're not – they expect him and the fan base expects him to be great and to be the franchise player. But I don't know if anybody's expecting 20 and 10 right from the jump. Like, he has AD to take some pressure off of him.
Yeah.
Gafford and all the other players. I think it's a good fit for him there.
He's 18 years old, of course, and his new teammates include 3 players that have combined for 24 All-Star appearances and 6 championships with Kyrie, Anthony Davis, and Klay Thompson. The good thing is, obviously, he's going to get his shot. He's going to get his minutes. Sometimes a really good young player on a really good team, if he doesn't get the minutes, then his progress is held back. I think that's one of the things maybe that's happened to Kuminga.
Yeah. And did you see what Jason Kidd said about, Cooper Flagg in Summer League?
What's that?
He wants him to play point guard.
What?
So he's going to have the ball in his hands. And so, he'll get comfortable and acclimated pretty quickly. It's not like he's, waiting on somebody to pass him the ball. He's going to be able to run the show out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Flagg says, looking at the roster, we can play a really good brand of, here's a term you haven't heard as much lately, positionless basketball.
I haven't heard that in a while, but yes. I like that. I like that. And that's the thing. He can play 1, 2, 3, or 4 for Dallas. So he's a versatile guy. I like it.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of players who were just drafted, it looks like Ace Bailey is expected to report to the Jazz tomorrow. There was a lot of talk on ESPN today from Brian Windhorst saying the Jazz are not backing down. And today, the Jazz say, we're good. He's going to be in tomorrow. We're fine. Interesting view on that whole thing from Mark J. Spears, friend of the show.
Yes.
On X, he said, the Ace Bailey story reminds me about Steph Curry's father and agent asking the Warriors not to draft him in 2009 with the 7th pick so he could go to the Knicks with the next pick. Steph also did not work out for the Warriors. Undeterred Warrior GM Larry Riley drafted Steph anyways, and everything worked out.
There you go. There you go. I will say San Francisco is a little bit different than Utah. It's a little bit different, but no, it's dude, go there and be a legend, man. Go there. Think about it. If you could bring a title to Utah, be the face of, like, you look at the Utah Jazz and just their history and who their star players, whether it's Malone, Stockton, Donovan Mitchell, you can make a name for yourself out there in Utah. You go out there and do it, man.
Do you think they'd have been better off if they hadn't broken up that team? Gobert and Donovan Mitchell. They were a Western Conference powerhouse.
They were, yeah. I think so.
Connolly and Bogdanovich and
and that's the thing. It's like I look at what Boston did with Tatum and Brown. They never broke that up. They kept tinkering and tweaking around it. And I felt like, Danny Ainge came in there and was like, I'm trading everybody. I'm starting over. And they're still a ways away, man.
They are.
They're a ways away.
Yeah. When we come back, a lot of basketball people really like the Kings' new center. We got Jerry Reynolds, bottom of the next hour, coming up as well with the Drive Guys, SacTown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Did you know addiction to drugs like meth or cocaine is a disease and not a choice? But getting help is. If you have stimulant use disorder, you, your family, and friends may have a lot of questions, including where to start. Choose Change California can help. Make a change today and find a proven treatment option for you at choosechangeca.org.
If you're not looking for a brand new car, at Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. We've kept only the best of our trades, and our buyer has found some of the finest pre-owned Hondas available in Northern California. You can see for yourself at elkgrovehonda.com. Whether you purchase a brand new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, your car buying experience will be the same. We have the right Honda at the right price. You'll find us in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Carmichael Dave here for my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Yes, I always tell you they are a family-owned operation, been in business since 81, A-plus Better Business Bureau, but it is hot. We are in those Sacramento hot months. I want to focus on them being your second opinion partner. What does that mean? Maybe you've got somebody you're working with or you've worked with in the past in the HVAC world. Guess what? They want to give you a second opinion. How much does it cost? Nothing. You call them up and say, hey, can I get a second opinion on this deal? They come out and they either say, wow, that's a great deal. You should feel better about that. Or they say, we can beat that price. And usually they're going to beat it by a lot. Guess what? You just saved money and it didn't cost you anything to find out. It's a no-lose situation. Go with a trusted company. American Energy, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9861. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9861. That's 800-575-9861. Tax Relief Advocates, real solutions for real people.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex decking and railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options, heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's Trex.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Experience the excitement of Sacramento Rivercats baseball at Sutter Health Park.
From thrilling plays on the field to fun in the stands with family and friends, River Cats baseball is for everyone. Enjoy lively entertainment all season long, the best ballpark food around, some of the finest views of the Sacramento skyline, and baseball memories with the Sacramento River Cats to last a lifetime. Grab your tickets now at rivercats.com.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Your local sports leader in the 916.
KHD1 Sacramento. KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. SacTown Sports, 1140.
We had. We'll be replaying that a little after 5. Of course, you can also check that out, SacTownSports.com. Before we get back to the basketball, where is Imran Pilati when you need him, Drapes? Have you seen this? An autographed.
Oh, Jordan.
1986-87 Fleer Michael Jordan rookie card is sold at Jupiter, which is Pharrell Williams Auction House, for $2.5 million.
That's not even a real rookie card, according to Imran, right?
Right. The reason I guess this Fleer card is as valuable as it is because Michael Jordan has a deal with Upper Deck, but last year he autographed 9 Fleer cards for some reason for a private collector.
Dang.
So those are really rare because he doesn't normally do that. So some of those cards graded out as PSA 10s, and they're
PSA 10. Wow.
So next time you talk to your boy Emron, you got to get one of those.
Dude, I'm cashing out. If I get one of those, I'm cashing out. Just like that person did. $2.5 million? Cash me out.
$2.5 million, including a 25% buyer's premium. Most ever paid for a Jordan rookie card. The most ever paid previously for an autographed Jordan rookie card was $205,000.
Really? Damn.
Yeah.
$2.5 million.
Yeah. So Emran probably has a bunch of those in his store.
Yeah, I need to talk to Imran about that, see what he has. Because I always go into the store. When I drop Nick off, I'm like, all right, what does he have? But I know he has some stuff in the vault out back, Like, that's what I need, man.
Well, you've been in the warehouse. I saw a video of you in there. I've never been to the warehouse.
You haven't been to the
I have
warehouse?
not been to the warehouse.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, go check out the warehouse, man. I'm not going to tell people where it is, obviously, but a lot of good stuff.
Yeah. So $2.5 million, you could probably get that from Imran for $1.25.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Just write out a check. Here you go, Imran. Here's one. And then skip town. But no, that's pretty sweet. What's your most prized card possession? Do you know the value of all your cards or no?
I haven't had them, authenticated or praised. It's probably a Julius Erving rookie card or a George Brett mini rookie card.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. That I just, got as a kid and just had the foresight to, I'll better take care of that.
Right. That's
got it.
Oh, so you got it as a kid?
Yeah.
Damn. See, you grew up in a good era for that kind of stuff. My era, it's a bunch of trash.
Yeah.
Bunch of trash. It's just, oversaturation.
It is amazing though, Drapes. You find, I go in and find a card of whoever, Rick Barry card from whatever. It's like, man, I'll bet you nobody has this. You go on eBay, there's a million
of them, right?
Yeah.
I haven't even looked at my old school card collection from when I was a kid because I'm like, I'm upset, man. I put major time and effort into collecting all these damn cards.
Mm-hmm.
And now you're telling me, Emran, they're not worth anything?
So roughly what era are we talking?
80s and early 90s, mid to late 80s and early 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, probably when I was about 13 or so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But they mean the world to you, right?
Mean the world to me. I need to go through because there's a lot of stuff, you know, it might be like a Griffey rookie in there or something
right.
that I haven't looked at in 30 years. Like, you know, and so I need to go through it and see what I have.
Yeah, that is fun. During the pandemic, I had all my cards put away and hadn't done anything. And then it started taking off again. So I got, just like you say, let me see. Well, you know, I probably have some stuff here. And I found like a really valuable Kobe card that I didn't even know I had.
See?
Like,
See?
Yeah.
Did Emran, and I don't know if we asked him this yesterday, is Cooper Flag moving the needle like Zion did and Wemby did? Did he say? I can't remember.
I think he's starting to. You know, he hasn't had his official NBA stuff out yet.
Right.
But yeah, I think the auto stuff is. And also it's kind of, there's so much of it out there now that it's starting to become, in a way, what it was, you know, what happened to your cards in the 90s. Not the same, but some similar things happening in the market. Were you surprised by the glowing reviews for the Kings pick yesterday? Maxime Raynaud from Kevin O'Connor, A+ pick by the Kings.
Not surprised.
Not surprised.
Not surprised. This guy, a 7-footer that can shoot. That's Kevin O'Connor's like wheelhouse. That's like his holy grail.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. That's why he kills Domantas Sabonis so much. Because Domas isn't, you know, a volume 3-point shooter. He loves bigs that can shoot. So I'm not surprised he likes this pick for the Kings.
I'm extremely bullish on Maxime Raynaud. I understand why he fell to number 42, wrote Kevin O'Connor, because of concerns about his defense. But he's just so skilled offensively. Can shoot it, attack closeouts, pass, handle. Could end up one of the steals of the second round. A+ by the Kings. Woo! It is interesting, and I haven't seen him a lot. I know you did one of his games, literally.
Yes.
But his numbers, if you just look at the box scores and the stats, the assist numbers are not great. But if you watch even just his mixtape, wow, he can pass.
Yeah. He's
got that court vision that you cannot teach.
Right, and that's, you know, what people are saying. You know, it maybe doesn't have the ability to score off the dribble, but off the dribble can make plays for others. And so think about it. Why do you vision it? You know basketball. Zach has it on one side, kicks it out. Raynaud, guy runs at Raynaud. He puts it on the deck, gets, you know, downhill a little bit, sprays out to Keon or whoever it is for an open three. Like, this is a guy that can Quentin Post type. I actually like that comparison a lot.
I do too.
For Raynaud. And Post was really good. Post was better than I expected, to be honest with you.
The 7-foot Frenchman projected to go anywhere between 22 and 30 in the draft by the majority of experts. I just wish we knew. You never know. I just wish what, you know, the real scouts thought of him. You know, it's one thing for the experts, and some of that is based on what scouts
they're hearing. Yeah.
But what do the people, the real talent evaluators, actually think of these guys? But anyway, getting a first-round talent with the 42nd pick after trading up and getting a first-rounder with a 24th pick when they didn't have any first-round picks at all going into the draft. Looks like maybe they got something accomplished yesterday.
How about, you know, the difference of 48 to 72 hours? We were killing the Kings. No first round picks. They're not even going to make a move. Why are we even watching the first night of the draft? And here we are now, 72 hours later. Kings getting A+ grades, turning nothing into something.
Do you think some of that could be a sugar rush where, you know, it's like, well, you're a little too high. And then
according to that text from the 916, who you know, came at us, he said, geez, guys, you drink any Kool-Aid, wouldn't you? Way overhyping this. So, yeah, it's a little bit of sugar rush.
Mm-hmm. But
we're not the only ones, though, Whitey. That's the thing about it, right? It's not just us in Sacramento.
Mm-hmm. An unnamed Western Conference scout, according to David Aldridge. Donovan Clingan went 7 last year. Zach Edey went 9. Other than Edey being bigger, Raynaud is more skilled than both of them put together.
Who said that? A scout?
A scout apparently said that to David Aldridge, and your friend Carmichael Dave posted that.
Really?
Yes.
Jeez. Man, to text DA about that one, man, that's more talented, more skilled, they said?
Yeah.
Wow. Then Klingon and Edie.
The thing is, that's a little misleading. Even I don't think it's true, but Klingon is a defensive anchor, right? That's
right. Yeah. And Edie, has touch around the basket, but he's not stretching out the floor.
Yeah.
Putting it on the deck. And so, it could be true, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
He could dribble and shoot. That's skill, right?
Right. And he should have a shot this year. He's going to have to adapt to just being used less often. A really high usage rate with Stanford, right? I mean, he was one of their go-to offensive guys, and that's not unusual for a college guy going to the NBA, but they're not going to look to him. The Kings are not going to expect from him the same thing Stanford expected from him. So, it could be an adjustment for him.
Yeah, and when you look at some of his numbers there in Stanford, started 5 games as a freshman, including the one I was able to do play-by-play for. Then 23 his second season, and then 31 and 35. And, I mean, the numbers just jump out at you. I mean, he was the focal point of senior season, obviously. 20 points, 10.6 rebounds, led the conference in rebounding ACC last year. And all while hitting, the numbers aren't eye-popping, 34.7% from three, Whitey, but he shot 5.5 per game. So he was getting them up from 3 last year.
Have you seen the numbers on him as far as being a major conference player to average 20 and 10?
I saw that.
Okay.
I saw that.
I don't even want to.
The numbers are the numbers, big fella. The comps are the comps.
In the past 25 seasons, there have been only 3 major conference players to average 20 points and 10 rebounds per game while connecting on at least 53 pointers for the season. Carmelo Anthony,
Hall of Famer.
Kevin Durant,
Hall of Famer,
and Maxime Raynaud.
Why you, dude? Is that a lie? Is that
It's not a lie.
It's not a lie.
It's
the numbers
are
the numbers. And he did it in a tough conference.
Yes.
I'm not. Oh, man.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. Can we talk to Russell here? Russell joining us on SacTown Sports. Thanks for hanging, Russ. What's up?
Hello?
Yeah, what's up, man?
You're on the radio.
Yeah, I just want to get online about the rookie that you guys picked up last night.
Yeah, what you got?
Yeah, I think this guy, in comparison to him, not couldn't post, but some guy that's way better, more athletic comes to mind. AK-47.
Andre Karolinko?
Ooh.
Yeah, I think Andre Karolinko was like 6'9", 6'10", something like that. But this guy, he just reminds me a lot of him with the handles, inside, outside game. Yeah.
Okay, Russell, thanks. We appreciate that.
Yep.
Yeah, and thank you. Have a great Friday. Andre Karolinko.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back and look at the video again because
I don't
see that. You ain't got to look at the video. Come on, Whitey. I mean, that 2 different players.
Houseway.
Yeah, I need to. Literally, I'm going back to look at the video because I'm trying to see if there's any shades of Karolinko in this guy's game.
I'll tell you what I always think of now when I hear the name Andre Karolinko, and I think Jay Ross told me this. Jay Ross used to be courtside at the table there for the Kings games. And, Doug, when Doug was playing and somebody's shooting free throws or something, he'd put a hand up as a sign to Jackie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So somebody's shooting free throws, Doug's at the other end, and Karolinko's down with him. And Doug's doing that where he's pointing at the ceiling. And J. Ross says, Karolinko looks at him, and then he starts looking up like, what's up there?
Was he
couldn't understand.
pointing at?
Couldn't understand what he was pointing at. Yeah. A fine player, but I'm not really seeing a lot of similarities there.
Wasn't Karolinko's wife the one that gave him the hall pass too, or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Legend has it.
All
Yeah.
right, okay.
She was like a Russian pop star.
Yeah,
or something.
yeah. No, I'm not seeing a lot. All right, I'm watching the tape right now. Stretch big with a high release, according to this site I'm on here. Let me see.
Anytime I think of Karolinko, I think of Baron Davis when he embarrassed him in the playoffs.
Right. No, Karolinko was, I think, more athletic, quicker, played more above the rim also. I don't see it.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's comp day.
Yeah,
we appreciate
no,
it, comp.
hey.
Whatever you got.
Anybody that want to call in, you got another comp? 916-3. We're not going to turn you away. 339-1140.
Right. To that point, though, apparently Kings and Scouts are thinking that Raynaud is a guy that could play, I think you mentioned it earlier, 5 and a little 4.
Yeah, he definitely could slide over to the 4. The question is defensively, right? You know, I don't think against certain matchups you want to have him out there at the 4. But, you know, you play the Dallases of the worlds, the Milwaukees, you know, like Golden State. He ain't out there playing the 4 against Golden State. Right. And so, no, I think, you know, he has some positional versatility. I think the ability to play with Domas is one of the reasons why he was drafted.
We asked Scott Perry about that. He said, maybe, you know, you have to see how it plays out, but certainly there's that possibility. It's the classic Domas playing with a stretch big, right?
I'm still looking at this tape here, Whitey, and I'm still looking for one play that looks like Kirilenko. Still can't find it. Still can't
Let us
find
know.
it.
Whatever's going on, you break in.
Right.
Even if we're in commercial.
It's a 10-minute video here. Still not seeing the Kirilenkos.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. AC, let's see what AC has on his mind. Hello, AC, what's up?
Hey, gentlemen, that post-sugar high from the draft is definitely out there. And part of it was, I don't know if you saw the video, they showed Neek basically commenting about his inspiration for how he plays the way he does.
Yeah.
And then they showed video of Kobe Bryant doing a fadeaway jumper. The next thing you know, he said he learned that from MJ. So then they showed Jordan.
They got a movement over there for sure.
Yeah. Okay.
So anyway, it's just kind of funny because all of a sudden Kings fans are like, hey, it's the next Michael Jordan. He's coming to the Kings. Anyway, just wanted to share that with you guys.
Thank you, AC.
Oh, AC got jokes. Okay. Is that how it happens?
It is.
Okay,
I mean, there is something to that. Right. We get a little carried away.
Hey, I found a clip.
Really?
Yes.
All right, Russ.
I'm actually a little more. You know what? I'm not saying he's Kirilenko, but one thing I'm noticing, his improvement in foot speed. Like it's you can see through the clips how he's gotten better. And
have you seen the clip where he has that breakaway steal and goes length of the court?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I saw that one. Yeah. Look, he did a little show and go move.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm liking this kid. Now they got him on the block. Uh-oh. I'm not saying Kirilenko, but I like this. This might be marketing. We're looking. No, I'm joking on that. But
would you agree that he is more skilled than Edie and Klingon together?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah. Edie and Klingon ain't doing that. They're not putting the ball on the deck like that. This guy can actually create his own shot a little bit here. You know, he's not just a back to the basket kind of guy.
Right.
This is a great pick.
Have you seen some of the ball fakes, like the shot fake, ball fake, and then he gets
and then
the
he
racket,
goes,
throws it down.
He goes pretty quick on that. I mean, the 3-point shot is still a little, but I like it.
That might be okay if it goes in, right? Because there's not going to be a lot of guys,
right?
And then Miles Turner and Chet Holmgren. It's not going to be a lot of guys that are going to block that.
I agree. No, this is a good pick for the Sacramento Kings. This guy can play basketball, man.
339-1140, 1-800-920-1140. TC joins us on SacTown Sports. It's time for Check It with TC. What's up, TC?
Hey, bro. Hey, check it out. Hey, we stole a draft. We got 2 gems, man. And my boy Q. I'm going to call him Q, and I'm going to call him Maxime. That's my boy. Hey, that was a steal. We needed it. Listen, we needed a 7-footer. The boy put it on the deck. Hey, I got him looking like Brooke Lopez. Hey, when I thought about it, I said, listen, I'm not crazy, but maybe we got our steal. Maybe 2.0 Wemby, Ted. We got a 7-footer that can move. Listen, check it out, Kings fans. Hold on, Drake. Whitey, give me a minute. Hey, look, check it out. Domas worked on his 3-point shot. If he work on that 3, he going to be daily, bro, at the stretch 5. Him, Domas, with all the tenacious defenders that Scott Perry has put together. Scott Perry and B.J. Armstrong, bro, are 2 cold individuals, along with Doug and the rest of that coaching staff. We putting together a team. Our identity moving forward from this day is going to be defensive. defensive-minded. We're going to be holding teams under 100 points, big dog. Listen, get ready, Kings fans. Hey, I'm excited, bro. Them picks, even our undrafted guys, our two-ways we got. Everybody's about defensive and ready to contribute. I'm ready, bro. That's what I got.
TC. So in the last.
There you go.
Just for those keeping score at home, in the last 50 minutes, we've had Maxime Raynaud compared to first Andre Kirilenko and now Wemby.
Wemby.
Yes.
Wemby.
And I get it.
Can we add another name to this list on the 530?
Yes.
You ready?
Yes.
Dirk Nowitzki.
There it is.
He got a Dirk also. Somebody said Brooke Lopez also.
Right.
Yeah, but somebody said Dirk Nowitzki comparison. And they talk about us drinking the Kool-Aid. Me and you drinking the Kool-Aid.
That's funny because I literally went after they drafted him and I'm looking at stuff and I remember having the thought in my head, it's not like this guy's Dirk Nowitzki.
You said that?
Yeah.
To yourself there? Yeah. Well, apparently he is, according to the 530 right here.
Uh-huh.
Oh, my gosh. But he's a player, Whitey. I think this guy, Quentin Post, seriously, in terms of what he can give the team his rookie year. He could be a Quentin Post kind of guy.
Quentin Post was effective because he made shots.
Yep.
I don't know what his final numbers were, but he had games where he made shots. So that's what it comes down to. He's better than Quentin Post if he can make shots. What do we got?
The YouTube chat is killing me, man.
What happened?
Manny too legit. More like 2.0 Jokic. Yelisey P. Pau Gasol.
There we go. Yeah.
Bring it. What are y'all doing out there, man?
Yes. That's exactly what we're doing.
Right.
How about Philip here on SacTown Sports?
Oh, my gosh.
Philip, how are you today?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Good. What's up, Philip, man?
Good. I'm a longtime Kings fan, but I do. Nick Clifford is a great pickup, but he does kind of remind me of Colby Jones.
Oh, okay.
A little, which he'd had a lot of promise, 20-something pick. He was like 6'5", 6'6", not a lot of wingspan, like kind of could shoot, was supposed to get better, never really showed it. So I'm always leery of, I hope it's better, but I hope we put him in a position to be successful, but it kind of reminds me of that.
All right, thanks, Philip, and thanks for bringing the room down. But we just had they drafted the next Nowitzki.
Right.
But I understand that point. I mean, and I think it was yesterday we were talking about that. I remember I thought Colby Jones was going to be good, and he still may be. But I can see the similarities. I think Duarte is another one of those guys. But I think the things that separate, hopefully, Nick Clifford, one thing is the rebounding is just, it's freaking off the charts.
Yeah. He a knack for the ball. A lot of it is effort too, Whitey. Like, this guy has a motor, man. Just from the clips I've seen, the short films I've seen of him, he has a motor out there, and I think we need that, especially on a veteran team like ours, where you got guys that have been around, some new blood, some new young, exciting blood that can make plays. I think that's a good thing.
What do you think of this comparison from the 707 for Maxime Raynaud? Patrick Ewing 2.0.
That's what I was trying to figure out who he reminded me of. I love it. You guys are terrible, man. You guys are crazy out there.
925 Danny Manning.
Danny Manning? Okay. Keep them coming, man. Whitey loves these. Keep them coming. Frank Anwar. I'm done. Look at these on the YouTube, Whitey. These guys are killing me.
Don't even read it, Drake. Don't even read it. Don't read it, dog.
I like that one. Frank says Maxime reminds me of Ersan Ilyasova.
How, Sway? Look at the ones right above it, though, man. Guys are going crazy right now, man. A mini Sean Bradley, they say. Diddy Avdia, a bigger Jordan from Compia. Thanks, guys. I needed this, man.
I think this might be a good one to end on from Bobby Hill. Well, first of all, Campy says soon Draper will be saying he's the Maxime Raynaud.
No, that's true, right? When it's all
Bobby Hill says he is a Kirkland Larry Bird.
Discount Larry Bird.
Yeah, I don't think we can go any further with it than that.
Oh my gosh, this is good. Bynum, Travis Outlaw, you guys are hilarious, man. Oh my gosh.
Jerry Reynolds, who of course knows Larry Bird very well. He joins us next. Then we have top of the hour. we'll replay for you our conversation with Scott Perry. So we still got a lot to get to on this big Friday on SacTown Sports.
Oh, and that's a hard foul. Let's listen for the call on the floor.
The taxpayer owes back taxes. Penalties and interest are assessed and wage garnishments to begin immediately.
The IRS never misses that call. I wonder if they will challenge it.
The call is under review.
Priority Tax Relief has been called in for a review. Priority is the best in the business at negotiating your tax debt and has even eliminated the debt for some clients. Priority Tax Relief is saving their clients millions of dollars every month.
After a careful review from Priority Tax Relief, the debt has been eliminated. No foul on the play.
Whoa! That completely changes the game, folks.
If you owe more than $5,000, call Priority Tax Relief, and in minutes they'll review your case for free with a direct line to the IRS to see if you qualify for life-changing relief. No more worrying about wage garnishments or frozen bank accounts. Call Priority Tax Relief today at 800-899-2289. That's 800-899-2289.
We make your tax relief our priority.
Call now.
Priority Tax Relief.
Hot summer savings explode at Maida's Elk Grove Chevy. Save $12,000 off MSRP after rebates. Every new 2025 Silverado half-ton LT and RST in stock. Maida Chevy has similar savings on every new Silverado. One of the largest selections in the Sacramento area. $12,000 off new Silverado. Exclusively at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big. Huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Less rating 2011 renewed. Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
Whoa. More fiber?
What?
Down here, buddy. It's me, your spoon. Constipation with belly pain still coming back.
Yeah.
Talk to your doctor. It could be irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, but Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Skeeter here. Got a question. What's small and dark with white bands on its legs and bites during the day?
Mosquitoes. Hi, I'm Luz Maria Robles, but these are 2 new types of day-biting mosquitoes. They're invading our area and becoming a big problem.
And they can be dangerous.
But we're on it, so when you see them, report it at fightthebite.net. In the meantime, use insect repellent and drain stagnant water around your yard.
We're here to help with these day-biting mosquitoes.
Visit us at fightthebite.net.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Mocash, Vincent Mason, and Avriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Hoblit Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center. Tickets and info at CITPFest.com.
This summer, give your kids a reason to smile, brightly. At Kids Care Dental, we make dental visits fun with a kid-friendly team, easy to schedule appointments, and expert doctors who really care.
Whether it's a checkup, a cleaning, or their very first visit, we've got you covered. We accept most insurances, and we're always ready when your schedule gets hectic.
Smiles grow here. Book online in minutes at kidscaredental.com. That's kidscaredental.com. Kids Care Dental, where healthy teeth make happy kids.
Play and win to take your loyalty to new heights at Sky River Casino. Join Sky River Rewards today for a chance to receive up to $2,500 in free play. Plus, you'll be in the know about upcoming special events and offers. Just minutes from Sacramento, right off Highway 99 in Elk Grove. Join in the fun with rewards that add up and up. Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino. Visit us to see how. Must be 21 or over. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Your afternoon home for King's Talk and so much more.
The Drive Guys on SacTown Sports.
Earlier this afternoon, we spoke with Scott Perry. And for those who missed that, we're going to have that again for you a little after 5 o'clock. So we talked to the current GM of the Kings, and right now, nice enough to join us, the guy who used to be the Kings general manager, used to be fill in the blank with the Kings. He did it all.
Did everything, right?
Yeah, other than start at the off guard, and he probably could have done that too. A Kings icon, Jerry Reynolds, with us. How are you today, Jerry?
I'm doing good, guys. Yeah, I just started listening to you about 4 o'clock, and if I got any more excited after TC called in, I don't know. I like the draft, but man, I wasn't quite seeing all that. I have to say, Drapes, I know you're watching tape and trying to see Karolinko and Ramon, and I think you're going to have to watch a lot more tape, buddy.
Dude, Jerry, I saw about 6 seconds there. If I blinked, I would have missed it, but I saw about 6 seconds on the tape I saw.
Yeah, well, I think that's about right. I think you did good. But, I sure like the draft, and I think he's got some talent. I think you guys hit it. I think he's a Quentin Post. I like him better than Quentin. Truthfully, I think he seems a little more lively and can play a little more off the dribble. But whether he can shoot it quite as good, that may be that's to be determined. But gosh, a 7'1" guy that can stretch the floor and shoot it with confidence, which he did. Maybe he had more confidence than his percentage said he should have. but you're not going to make them if you don't think you can. And so, yeah, I like that. But Karolinko, tell you what, boy, people forget that guy was a consistent 20-foot jump shot away from being in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, wow.
That's what that guy was. That was talk about an athletic guy.
Jerry, before we get too much further into the players, and we can't wait to find out what you think of them, but I'm just curious, when a draft comes around, does it bring back memories of what you went through? I mean, you guys go through stuff in the scouting process and discussing players that, most of us aren't privy to. When you watch a draft, does it bring back a lot of those, we call it the war room experiences that you went through when you were running teams?
I've tried to get most of them out of my mind, but I tell you what, though, it's a tough go for watching all the tape, and of course they can do so much better with that now than used to be, where you have all the breakdown stuff to where you can watch 1,000 pick and rolls with guys through their college careers and stuff and things like that. So you got more things available, even though some of the guys are younger. For the most part, they're younger, not necessarily with the drafts this year, but yeah, it's such a crapshoot, as we all know. That's how Shea Gilgeous-Alexander is an MVP. It was taken 11th, and there's basically Giannis Antetokounmpo 15th, and Jokic 41st. So
right.
Gold is where you find it, and you always hope you're always hoping that you find gold when you pick, and sometimes you do, and sometimes it's fool's gold.
Jerry Reynolds joining us. Hey, Jerry, you think any of these guys are immediate day one contributors for the Kings?
I think it's possible Nick could be. He's an older player and certainly really did progress. I remember seeing him early in his career at Colorado, and quite honestly wasn't very impressed. But he's one of those guys that has made himself a much better player. And that last year at Colorado State, he really seemed to jump off the page a little bit. Of course, his body got better too. But you'd think that he has, Summer League will tell you a lot. Summer League will tell you a lot. I mean, he needs to go out there like all those guys and prove, I know, you don't want to put too much on it, but show that he really does kind of belong out there against other rookies and second-year players that he'll be going against. If he can more than hold his own, then there's no reason to believe maybe he can't find some minutes.
Well, that's really interesting, Jerry. We talked to Scott Perry about that too, what he's looking for from players in in summer league. But could you expound on that when you say, oh, he's got to hold his own? What are you looking for in a player like Nick Clifford when he gets into summer league? What do you need to see from him?
Well, I think what you want to for sure see, can he do pretty well defensively? You know, I mean, in other words, if he's a guy that can't stay in front of guys in the summer league, there's no reason to believe he's going to stay in front of Doncic or Alexander. So you know, I think you start there, and then now you've got to be. You're looking for some offense, and efficient offense, I'd say. I don't think when you're picking a guy late in the first round that you feel like he's got to be a really dominant player. Now, having said that, if he's, you know, I can assure you, Cooper Flegg, they're expecting him to look awfully good in summer league, not just kind of fit in. So you're, you know, when you're picking in the high lottery, you're looking for stars, and really when you're, not that you don't want stars late in the first round, but basically if you get a guy that can be a productive roster guy right off, then you feel pretty good about it. And so you're looking for a guy you think you could plug in that, you know, right away to some minutes.
Hey, Jerry, what do you make of Scott Perry, you know, less than 3 months into the job, no first round draft pick, deciding, you know what, we're going to jump into this thing. We're going to be a part of the first day party. What did you think about that move?
Well, he's a smart guy. He's a good basketball man. He's proven that, and been there, did just about everything in his career as far as, you know, scouting, spent a lot of years scouting. So he gets it. He understands the drill. I think has a good feel for, you know, what you have to, the moves you have to make. Obviously, it's very important, I think, for the Kings to get into the first round with how the things ended. And let's face it, very negative, a lot of negativity. And just by getting in the front in the first round, getting a player that you have reason to believe could help you, gives, you know, let's face it, as a fan, which I am, it gives you kind of a reason to say, oh, okay, we got something we didn't have. So there's a little more positivity, and I think you know, there's nothing wrong with having a little more positivity in a situation where when Scott took the job, there wasn't a lot of positivity.
Right. You're absolutely right. It's just sometimes we get a little carried away on that sugar high, and the next thing you know, people are saying that Raynaud is the next Andrei Kirilenko. But that's all part of it, and it's all part of the fun.
Well, I even though Andrei Kirilenko, but now, you know, the Dirk Nowitzki thing took my breath away. I was just thinking before you guys called, I was going to say, well, I kind of see a lot of Akeem Olajuwon in there.
There it is.
What do you think of the philosophy in general of drafting, you know, they're young men, but as far as draftees, older draftees, does that kind of minimize some of the risk now when there's players that are so much younger coming out of college and you got so many players coming from overseas? Is it just a little safer to draft the older draftees?
Well, you certainly got more to go on. I mean, you can more tape, more games they played against good competition. I mean, I think, you know, obviously with the younger guys, you're always the 18, 19-year-olds. You're always betting on, boy, how good are they now? How good are they going to be? As if they're all going to really get a lot better, which they don't, as we know. But I think with the older players, it's a safer way to go. Guys that have proven they could play at a high level against a really good competition, and that's what both of those guys that were drafted have done. So I think the risk is less, and you know, I don't think Scott Perry really drafted either guy thinking he's getting the next Kobe Bryant or Nikola Jokic. I mean, you'd love that to happen, but I think, you know, by getting guys that with that track record that they have, you know, your risks are a lot less, I think.
Yeah.
Jerry Reynolds joining us. Jerry, you know, Scott started off his tenure here talking about the need for a point guard. He has not addressed that yet, especially through the draft. Are you surprised by that at all? Or when you're drafting where the Kings were drafting, you just take best available at that point? What do you think about that?
Well, I would you know, it would have been very doubtful if he could have got a point guard in the draft that would be able to step in and play.
Right.
that's my opinion. I did kind of like the Duke kid, Tyrese Proctor, a little bit. Was kind of hoping they might look at him, but I didn't think he's not ready to run an NBA team that's trying to compete for something. Now, just on a future basis, that's another issue. So I think they are pretty confident that they know they got to get a point guard, and they're going to have to get a veteran, somebody that's done it. I mean, just which direction they go. But so I'll kind of, probably like you guys, I'll worry a little more about that as we get closer to October.
Can we ask what your opinion would be of? I know Sam Amick has suggested the Kings have been in discussions with a guy who's still talking to his current team, or the team he played for last year, Dennis Schroeder. What do you think of the potential fit of Dennis Schroeder with this team?
Well, he's better than they have at the moment, but I'm not a big fan. He'll be 32 pretty soon. I would certainly like, for me personally, if they went the Tyus Jones route, I'd be happier about that. The money and what you have to give and all that sort of thing plays in. I'd certainly, even though probably Ty Jerome can't do some of the things Schroeder can, but at least there's reason to believe he'll get better. And
that's my guy.
I guess put me down as being a little wary of the 32-year-old. I mean, I understand that he's got a couple of good years left, probably solid years, but there's a reason he's been on, how many teams is it? About 7 or 8?
12, I think, right?
12. Okay.
Yeah,
is it?
So
wow.
Who,
Schroeder?
So
he's been around.
So we know that half the teams in the league don't think he's the answer.
Oh, now that's where I'm going to push back on you, Jerry.
Okay.
Or I'll look at it, half the teams in the league think he's the answer for a stopgap to get us to the answer. He's a guy, nice veteran, can fill in, run the ship, hold the fort down, if you will.
I think that's not a bad way of looking at it. I couldn't disagree with you too much. I mean, but hey, on that basis, I'd just soon have Russell Westbrook if you're going to say hold the fort for a year. Give me a, I know who he is, but I mean, that's a baller. I just enjoy watching a guy try so hard every play of every minute of every game he's in. I think a guy like that would care, just rub off on some of the guys.
Dennis Schroeder, by the way, according to this information, 9 teams in 12 seasons. That was a 12-year.
No, but he had one he didn't play.
Oh,
remember who was it? He got traded to and didn't even play one game for that team. Let me see here. Raptors, Rockets. Did he play for the Rockets on there?
For the Rockets?
Raptors. I thought it was one team he got traded and didn't even play.
He played 4 games, or no, he played about 15 games for the Rockets in 1 year.
Oh, okay.
So, anyway.
All right.
Jerry, I want to ask you about another comp here, and I'm sorry because I know we get goofy with these things. And I think even Scott Perry, among others, talked about the comparison between Nick Clifford and Doug Christie. And Nick Clifford says he has heard that. And then I saw some website said that Raynaud is like Brad Miller with a better 3-point shot. Just because, we all around here have some point of reference with those guys. Do either of those comparisons make any sense to you?
Well, the Christie for Nick does a little. I saw Doug play a lot in college, and now I think Doug at that time was a better prospect. Had he not had some knee issues, he'd probably win top 7 or 8.
Wow.
So he slid because of some injuries, because he was a big time athlete who really had some playmaking skills in. Having said all that, I mean, people do forget, or I don't, but that really it took Doug probably 4 years and 4 teams to really find his niche. So that's kind of the old, the old head kind of remembering. It's like, that's not a bad thing, but then if that's your comp, don't expect him to come in and be Doug Christie of 2000 Kings.
I
mean, he wasn't. That Doug Christie wasn't available when he first came out. It took a while to get there.
Interesting.
And Doug would be the first one to know that, but that doesn't mean that Nick's not a good But I think it's a reasonably good comparison. The only difference I see, what little I've seen of Nick, is Doug had a better handle, just clearly a better handle.
Okay. Jerry Reynolds joining us. Jerry, all right, so we got the rookies coming in. We see what the roster is right now. Are you of the belief that wholesale changes don't need to be made? You know, there's been talk, DeMar, Malik, Sabonis. What do you think about the prospects of running this thing back with the rookies and then adding the point guard?
Well, I'd like to see, I think it's going to be tough to be a lot better if you don't make one, significant trade, I think, because the West just got better, and, I just was watching the show the other day. They had the Vegas line on the teams in the West, and they had the top 10, and the Kings weren't on it.
Mm-hmm.
So just on that basis, I'd say, the people who bet money for a living aren't high on the Kings' chances as they stand.
Mm-hmm.
And so on that basis, I like the draft. I like everything they're doing right now. I like the coaching staff. But I think the roster itself, running it back, you might get a couple more wins. But that's not going to feed the Bulldog, is it?
I wanted to ask you what you thought of what's going on with Ace Bailey. And apparently, he wasn't happy with being in Utah, but the Jazz announced today that, he's going to report. We're good. Windhorst said today that, Danny Ainge and his son were not going to back down. They made it clear to Ace Bailey, this is where you're going to play. We're not going to negotiate. What do you make of that as somebody who's been through that? And does that remind you of, the Kobe situation where you were going to draft Kobe if he was available?
A little bit. There's a big difference. There was no question with Kobe. We knew for sure that, he could speak Italian. He'd grown up in Italy, and he was prepared to go over and play. I don't think Ace Bailey's going to speak a lot of Italian, and he's probably not independently wealthy. So I'd have to think that Utah's pretty much got him.
Yeah.
And I did see a couple of comments from Ace, where he said he didn't just want to win Rookie of the Year. He wanted to make the All-Star team this year. And I thought, that's pretty good for a guy that, second best player on a team that had a losing record in college.
You gotta have lofty goals there, Jerry.
I'm with you, Kyle. You gotta have we don't let reality or common sense slip in there at all.
Jerry Reynolds joining us. Hey, Jerry, Cooper Flagg, number 1. Is he making an immediate impact in the NBA? Does he, come in and make Dallas a contender, you think?
I think he's going to be a really good player right away, but I'm quite not, I'm not sure that I see a guy that's going to be a 20-point, 8 rebound, 5 assist guy on that. But I think he's got so much athleticism and skill and competitive spirit. It'd be hard for me not to see him being a starter and a key player on a big winner, and I think if they're healthy, that's also the key. I mean, Kyrie's health is probably more important toward winning than Cooper Flagg is right now. That's what I'd say.
Mm-hmm. In your opinion, Mr. Reynolds, is the backcourt for the Kings getting crowded to the point where there aren't enough minutes for players that you'd want to play, and that maybe you'd be looking to deal somebody from that collection of backcourt players?
Well, there is something to the fact that I don't know how many 2 guards you do need. I think the Kings have probably got all the quota they could possibly use there. So I think that, and they've got some assets and they've got more guys in some positions than they need and not enough in others. How's that? So they still, it still needs to be balanced out. And you guys like me, Scott Perry knows exactly that better than any of us, and so. They've got the summer to kind of work that out, but this team obviously could use, it'd be nice if they had even a more proven long wing as well as a point guard. And so, like I say, you like the draft, but I don't think you really want to count on the draft, whether it's Dallas, even with Cooper Flagg or anyone else, to make that rookie. I mean, there's not many Magics and Birds and Jordans and LeBrons. There just is.
There's not.
Yeah.
Or even Karolinko's for that matter. Not a lot
Or
of
even Karolinko's or Dirk Nowitzki's. I mean, Dirk wasn't that good as a rookie, by the way. And
that's true.
It was into his third year before you started seeing the real Dirk Nowitzki. So, and, as the comparison to Brad Miller, I might add, Brad ended up wasn't drafted, and he played in Europe for a couple of years.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he made his way and was a terrific player. We all know that, but so.
But you've told me, Jerry, you've told me you thought he was like the human changeup. He was successful because he was so slow.
The human knuckleball. Yeah. He fooled guys because he was way slower than they thought he was. And I mean, he had the ability to get his shot blocked from any angle. But Brad, I mean, really though, Brad was he was just a terrific perimeter center.
Yeah.
Not that he shot threes because he was such a great shooter and passer. But his post game, I mean, I used to kid him. I said, I don't know if you could, post up. If there's a guard in the league, you could post up. But he said, well, I won't try then.
That's it.
So don't reach. Yeah. So anyway, those comparisons. I mean, they're interesting as we know. And like I say, I sure like what they've done. And I think there's a chance it's going to work for them, the rookies, but if they're going to be a better team, the draft is probably going to be secondary to how much they improve.
Hey, Jerry, where are you running Devin Carter? What is Devin Carter this season, you think?
I want to, I would sure hope that they trot him out there in the summer league and try to see if he can run the team. I mean, I think there's some potential there. His rookie year it wasn't his fault, but it just didn't go like it should have. But you saw the competitive spirit, and I'm pretty sure Scott Perry's going to, when he sees Devin, playing D and working hard and he's fearless. I just think if there's you're not going to find a diamond in the rough if you don't kind of scrape off the dirt and look at it a little bit. And I think summer league is so important for Devin Carter, and you might have there's a reason he was picked 13th, and most of the teams and guys that I talked around the league thought that he should have been, if not higher. So, definitely, I think patience is really required here, and and I think a good summer league and preseason will tell us a lot about, what they can count on from him. But I'm still optimistic on that guy. I really am.
Nice. Okay. We appreciate it as always. I know it's Friday, and you got going up to Lake House. So thanks for sharing your wisdom with us, Jerry. We always appreciate it and always enjoy it.
I tell you what, I enjoy being with you guys a good bit more than Mrs. Reynolds lately. She's been a little rough on me.
Oh, man. You probably deserve it, though, right?
There is a possibility.
All right. Thanks, Coach. We'll talk to you soon.
See you guys.
All right, Jerry.
Okay.
All right, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
He likes to draft, but they're going to have to do more.
Yeah, pump the brakes a little bit. Yeah.
I hope he's right. I hope that they give Devin Carter a chance to play point.
Run the team.
See how it goes. See what you got.
I think they will. Didn't they do that to Keon last year? And Mason Jones too. I think they gotta, if Scott and Doug, they might have the same questions we had. What are you? Let's see if you can run the point.
Yeah.
And who knows? That could be an answer as our backup point guard.
I'll tell you what, Drapes, I've learned something today because we had a current GM and a former GM both say summer league, it matters. Because I've always thought, whatever.
Right.
Bunch of grab ass, but you got to see for do it for a living. We got to see what these guys do.
You think that everybody just going to Vegas just to party and hang out?
Aren't you?
Yeah, pretty much. I'll be working down there. I'll be working.
All right. We will hear from Scott Perry. We'll share with you the conversation we had with him earlier. We have that coming up, and we'll look at whether the Kings just landed 2 first-rounders for the price of none when we come back on a Friday at long last, SacTown Sports.
Whitey here for Napoleon Grills, reminding you that when buying a new grill, every detail matters. While supplies last, you'll receive a $149 gift with purchase on every new Napoleon Prestige stainless steel grill. The kit even includes a pizza lover starter kit and much more. And now up to $79 off Napoleon Rogue models. Napoleon grills are built different, built better, built to last, with a lifetime warranty and premium steel that boasts amazing quality. Visit Green Acres Nursery today for your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories.
Get to your local Toyota dealer because the 4th of July sales event is on. Hurry in to check out the hottest deals on 17 Toyota hybrid models from the longest lasting brand on the road. And right now, get a low-cost lease on 2025 Prius. Plus, every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care. That's 2 years of complimentary maintenance. These deals won't wait, and neither should you. In a brand new Toyota, explore this summer like you mean it. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium rated credit at 6/30/25.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Jane has 150,000 miles on her truck, and she's proud of that. Jane's secret, AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help her find the right parts. Jane's brother Josh only cares that his car starts and goes, but when it doesn't, he also goes to AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help with free services. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex decking and railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options, heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's Trex.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you. Carmichael Dave here for my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Yes, I always tell you they are a family-owned operation, been in business since 81, A-plus Better Business Bureau, but it is hot. We are in those Sacramento hot months. I want to focus on them being your second opinion partner. What does that mean? Maybe you've got somebody you're working with or you've worked with in the past in the HVAC world. Guess what? They want to give you a second opinion. How much does it cost? Nothing. You call them up and say, hey, can I get a second opinion on this deal? They come out and they either say, wow, that's a great deal. You should feel better about that. Or they say, we can beat that price. And usually they're going to beat it by a lot. Guess what? You just saved money and it didn't cost you anything to find out. It's a no-lose situation. Go with a trusted company. American Energy, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Is your concrete sinking? Whether it's your driveway, sidewalk, or patio, those uneven surfaces are not just ugly, they're dangerous. That's where Groundworks comes in. They use state-of-the-art concrete lifting solutions to prevent tripping hazards, and they're the best at what they do. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Hello, I'm Frank Cockrell with Retirement Security Centers with a weekly economic update. Are you curious if Americans are hitting the road this summer? You bet they are. Domestic leisure travel is at one of the highest levels since the pandemic. 53% planned vacations this summer, up from 48% last year, with an average of 3.1 trips per person. Flights and hotel-based getaway plans? About 44% of Americans will take trips requiring air or hotel stays, spending on average of $3,860, totaling $450 billion. Still, it's not luxury travel expected. Travelers are trading pricey international trips for road trips and microcations, booking late, looking for deals, and favoring domestic destinations. That extra domestic spending could boost local economies, fueling gas stations, restaurants, and hotels. But leaner budgets and delayed bookings could pinch airlines, resorts, and tour operators. So yes, Americans will travel this summer, but smarter, nearer, budget savvy, and that balance will ripple across our economy. How might this affect you or your family? Please go to frankontheradio.com to schedule an appointment, watch videos, and receive market updates. I'm ready to help you start your journey so you can define your future.
Securities and investment advisory services offered through Mosaic Wealth, member FINRA SIPC. Mosaic Wealth is separately owned, and other entities and or marketing names, products, or services referenced here are independent of Mosaic Wealth.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger, Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You know, it's a sad story, but I tell you because I don't want you to make the same mistake. Our old heater collapsed with a heavy sigh during the winter, and we were freezing cold. So many HVAC companies out there. Who to choose? A friend recommended we check out Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating at leesair.com. They took care of our problem. So check them out, leesair.com, because you don't want your air conditioning going out during these hot days. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating was ready to come out the day that we called, treated us with a lot of respect, even from the person who answered the phone to the guys who installed our HVAC unit. Why choose Lee's? That's what it comes down to. Well, they offer a 100% satisfaction guarantee for one thing. They get 4.8 stars on Google for another. They've won awards for their service, and they've spent more than 40 years serving the Valley's HVAC, heating, and plumbing needs. You can trust Lee's with installation and repair of your AC, furnace, and water heater, plus residential and commercial plumbing repair, commercial HVAC services too. Find out more at leesair.com. Check out their mission statement. It's all about serving customers and community, and check on their $99 HVAC tune-up service. Let Lee's take care of you the way they took care of me and are still taking care of us, treating us like family while setting us up with an HVAC system that has improved our quality of life and the air that we breathe. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating, license number 635355.
If you're not looking for a brand new car, at Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. We've kept only the best of our trades, and our buyer has found some of the finest pre-owned Hondas available in Northern California. You can see for yourself at elkgrovehonda.com. Whether you purchase a brand new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, your car buying experience will be the same. We have the right Honda at the right price. You'll find us in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Ken Korak with your Green and Gold Report, brought to you by Comcast Business, powering possibilities. Well, there's a real chance of Jacob Wilson starting the All-Star game. As of the start of the A's current trip, he had a 250,000 vote lead at shortstop. Next up, the final vote of the top two finishers. If he wins that, he'll become the first A's shortstop to start the game in 50 years. Comcast Business helps turn today's small businesses into engines of modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. It's how retailers become seamlessly restocking, cyber-securing must-visit shops. And it's how healthcare offices become data-managing caregivers that we all depend on. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, advanced fiber solutions, and Wi-Fi backup, Comcast Business is powering the engine of modern business.
Get ready for a night out with Jordan Davis. It's Country in the Park 2, Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo. Along with the special guests Mitchell Tenpenny, Low Cash, Vincent Mason, and Adriana. Make it a family day out with food trucks, games, dancing, and more. Saturday, September 13th at Cal Expo with Hoblit Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center. Tickets and info at CITPFest.com.
Oh, and that's a hard foul. Let's listen for the call on the floor.
The taxpayer owes back taxes. Penalties and interest are assessed and wage garnishments to begin immediately.
The IRS never misses that call. I wonder if they will challenge it.
The call is under review.
Priority Tax Relief has been called in for a review. Priority is the best in the business at negotiating your tax debt and has even eliminated the debt for some clients. Priority Tax Relief is saving their clients millions of dollars every month.
After a careful review from Priority Tax Relief, the debt has been eliminated. No foul on the play.
Whoa! That completely changes the game, folks.
If you owe more than $5,000, call Priority Tax Relief, and in minutes they'll review your case for free with a direct line to the IRS to see if you qualify for life-changing relief. No more worrying about wage garnishments or frozen bank accounts. Call Priority Tax Relief today at 800-899-2289. That's 800-899-2289.
We make your tax relief our priority.
Call now.
Priority tax relief.
Hot summer savings explode at Maida's Elk Grove Chevy. Save $12,000 off MSRP after rebates. Every new 2025 Silverado half-ton LT and RST in stock. Maida Chevy has similar savings on every new Silverado. One of the largest selections in the Sacramento area. $12,000 off new Silverado exclusively at the Maida Chevy Silverado Supercenter. Now that's big, huge. See them all at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's drive.
Just trading 2011 renewed. Not available with special financing, lease, and some other offers.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
SacTown Sports 1140.
Right. It's against someone else who's he can't talk about other players. So that's one reason why we didn't, you can ask him and he just say, well, I can't answer that. So if you went, why didn't they ask him about Schroeder? It's just, he can't. You can't do that. So, right. Exactly. Yeah. So it's interesting though, because I know Jerry Reynolds, who we also talked to, Jerry Reynolds told me once that that Jeff Petrie used to say, if you're going to be the conductor of the orchestra, you have to turn your back to the audience. So you can't care what other people think. But we're just talking about Schroeder and we're just talking about Russell Westbrook. I get the sense from some of the responses we're getting, there seems to be more people responding to us here who would like to see Russell Westbrook come in than Get Dennis out of Schroeder. here. Really? Well, like I said, it's just a few.
You got like
there.
2 people on YouTube here, Whitey.
Yeah. It's
That's
a
about
few
it.
people.
I'll put it out to the people.
It's
Westbrook or Schroeder. Who you want?
We don't need to.
Who you want?
We don't need to go there, do we?
I'm not gonna hesitate. I have no issue with Russell Westbrook if he came here.
Starting point guard.
I don't know about starting point guard, but he's a veteran presence that the Kings need.
Well, that's who we're talking about, right? Whoever you bring in, it's
Has to be your starter, right? Because if you bring him in to be your backup, then you need a starter still.
Right.
Come on. Yeah. Oh, I'm looking at NBA trade rumors from CBS Sports.
Ooh, what do we get?
This was yesterday. I mean, nothing, major. About 1:00 yesterday. Kings interested in signing Russell Westbrook. I think they're aggregating though.
Yep.
Yeah, they're
From
aggregating
Sam,
from
that's
Sam.
one of the guys I'll be looking at.
They're aggregating. That's weak. See, that's what I'm saying. One guy says it, and Sam could be totally accurate. I'm not disputing that. But then it catches on like wildfire, and it becomes a real thing. Like, oh, everybody's reporting this.
Right. When Sam, as he did when he mentions 3 or 4 guys, Kings are looking at this guy. These guys are also on their list. Then someone takes one of those names and pulls it out, says the Kings are looking at Russell Westbrook. It seems like, wow, they're really focusing on him. And we don't believe that to be the case.
Yeah, and the thing about it is they also mentioned Tyus Jones.
Yeah.
But Tyus Jones doesn't get the clicks. Russell Westbrook does.
Good point right there.
Westbrook is going to be in the headline. Oh, my gosh, Westbrook, that's going to get the clicks. So that's what's happening here.
I've learned you don't disagree with Jerry Reynolds when it comes to basketball. But when it comes to Russell Westbrook, I'm with you, Drapes, 100%. It's just like, I don't think that would be a good idea.
I just don't. Yeah, I think there are better options out there. Would you take Westbrook?
I'm probably going to say nobody no matter what.
Nobody else. Or Westbrook or run it back with what we have?
I'd be more inclined to either run it back or find somebody like Devin Carter. You're the point guard. Sink or swim.
Okay. All right.
I just think Russ, as hard as he plays, and I've never seen anyone who plays harder. Like Bobby Jackson played really hard.
Yeah.
Russ plays really hard. But at this point, that jump shot is so inconsistent and, it's kind of later in the – I just don't see really how he helps me that much unless there's something about having a guy who plays that hard. Maybe that rubs off on the other guys.
How about the numbers here, though, Whitey? 75 games with Denver, 13 points, 6 assists. Overall field goal percentage 45 to 32 from 3, 51.7 from 2.
You warming up to
it?
I'm
just playing devil's advocate here, just pointing out some numbers. I don't like him as a starter. That's just I can't. Nah.
Yeah.
With Zach and DeMar. It just doesn't.
The Kings helped him with those numbers. Those numbers you just read, the Kings had a
leaving
lot
them
to
wide
give.
open on some of them threes that he knocked down on us, no doubt.
Oh, but there's plenty of time for all those conversations, and they begin in earnest Monday, 3:00 our time. Free agency begins. So Kings got some decisions to make. How many needs would you say they've met with free agency approaching, just in with the draft picks they've made here? Obviously, point guard was a huge need, going by what Scott Perry told us, and they haven't addressed that yet. Yeah. How many needs have they met? You got a stretch big, which I don't think they necessarily spelled out as a need, but it was something that they were lacking.
Yeah. You stretch big and some, positional length on the wing spot, the two spot. I think that's two things they addressed. Yeah.
We talked earlier today to Scott Perry about that and other things. We'd like to share that conversation with you now.
Right. Nice enough to join us right now. Your coffee buddy.
Stop.
Yes.
My guy.
Yes.
We got to call him my guy.
Okay.
My coffee buddy, my soon-to-be golf buddy.
He's everybody's guy in Sacramento today. All Kings fans say he's our guy. Scott Perry. How are you, Scott?
Hey, guys. How we doing?
Much better today now, Scott.
I'm listening to Kyle. If we're gonna be golf buddies, he's got to give me some strokes, a couple of sides.
I don't know about that, Scott. I play for money too. You know, I ain't giving you no. Yeah, we're gonna have to get out soon, my man. We got to get out soon.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah. Scott, I wanted to ask you. You know, you're getting rave reviews for your draft in the NBA Mediascape. What pleases you the most about what you're able to accomplish in the last couple of days in the draft?
Well, a lot of things that you guys probably, well, I know you didn't get a chance to see it. It's really the way our staff really came together and worked through this process. You know, I've just been here a couple of months, brought, a few people in with me, but a number of people that had been here before, just bringing that all together, the way the coaches came together and ran workouts really well. Our process was thorough. We were able to, meet with all of the guys that we, were able to draft and a number of, other prospects as well. And just really the thoroughness of what we went through this process together, the draft night in terms of the symmetry and the war room with all our staff here, that probably pleased me the most. Just the process is off to a good start, and it will only get better from my perspective as I'm here longer and people get to know me and my expectations for what's going on here. But and our support staff has been fantastic as well too. So that old saying, it takes a village. The village really showed up and was very helpful to me and this organization throughout the process.
On with Sacramento Kings GM Scott Perry. Hey, Scott, you got Nick Clifford at 23 years old. You got Raynaud at 22. Was it a priority to get older guys that could play right away in the NBA?
That I would say priority, but I like when guys have put a resume together that you can really evaluate. And as I said, the night after the first night when we drafted Neek, he's a great example of that. And Maxime is the same way. These are guys that got better each year in college. And so you like to get players who are on an upward trajectory. I think also a good byproduct when you do get guys 22, 23 years old coming into the league. Not only are they a little more physically mature, but they're mentally more mature. And it reminds me of the times when I first got into the NBA working, years ago, you were getting a little more of a finished product in that way in terms of the total person. Does not mean we would never draft someone that's, 19 years old, because there are a lot of great talented players that are coming into our league at that age. But I think it's in this instance, they were the best players for us. They both address the need. We love the versatility of Nick Clifford and adding some size with Maxime. I think, he's skilled, big man. I think he's going to be able to play in the modern NBA with his skills, not only around the basket, but I think he's going to develop into someone who can play away from the basket as well.
And to that point, Scott, do you see Raynaud potentially becoming, with his ability to stretch the floor, a big that could play alongside Domas if all goes well?
Yeah, you got to see it come together. But, yeah, there obviously is potential there for sure. He's got to get stronger. He's got to get used to the speed of the NBA game, and just like all these rookies do. So that'll be the big thing that I'm watching early on, not only in Summer League, but early on in training camp and preseason and early part of the regular season, just how quickly they can adapt, not only Raynaud, but also Clifford, how quickly they adapt to the speed and pace of the game and the strength of the game. Because now you're playing against the best in the world every single night, and that's a challenge. So there will be highs and lows associated with both. I don't care who the rookie is, that will be the case.
Hey, Scott, you took over the job. We didn't have a first-round pick, but you made a trade to get into the first round. Was it because you wanted Neek, or was that your plan all along, just try to get a first-round pick, trade up, and be active in the first round?
Kyle, one thing that I've mentioned to you and everyone else in the community, I was always going to be prudent and opportunistic. So going into the draft when you don't have a first-round pick, you try to evaluate what opportunities in the first round that you can get in, or what range of the first round you can get into. We felt like there was an opportunity to do that in the 20s. And so you say to yourself, who are you willing to do that with, to, trade a future asset to go get? And there was only a couple guys for us that we thought possibly could make that range. And actually, Nick Clifford, I didn't think would make it there, to be quite frank, because I know a lot of teams ahead of us liked him. And just in communication with people around him, it was a less than 50% chance that he may be there. Ultimately, we're at 24. So this made a lot of sense for us to jump in at that point and get him, especially since we had such a strong grade on him. It made sense. We like his versatility. He brings the defensive edge. And again, my job is to keep enhancing the talent base on this team. And these two young guys are, the first draft picks since I've been here. And we're going to continue adding to our talent base through future drafts and every other manner that we can.
Scott, when we look at not only the players you drafted, but also the players you picked up after the draft, you got some good defenders in this group. Could you speak to the emphasis, how important it was for you to really look at the defensive end in choosing these players?
Well, if you know my background, know much about me, I believe in both sides of the ball, but I really believe in that defensive side. And I think if you study championship teams over the years in basketball, whether it be collegiate or professional basketball, you got to be able to defend at a high enough. You got to be able to defend at a high enough level. And I think this team, we need that. Whenever you can find people that can contribute on that end, we want to. And you've heard me talk about these 6 principles to becoming a Sacramento King: developing identity, competitive, tough, team-oriented, disciplined, accountable, professional. That all factors in, and that being able to defend at a high level is very important. Look, we just saw it in the NBA Finals with both of those teams, both Indiana and the eventual champions, Oklahoma City Thunder. Both groups do a nice job of defending the basketball, making it difficult. And when you have guys who can defend multiple positions, that's very important, as both of those teams do. So I've always valued that, knew it was important to go after that defensive end. And I'll go even further back to my start in the NBA with the Detroit Pistons, with well over a decade. We, year in and year out, were one of the top defensive teams in the league. And that was the backbone to our success when we went to 6 straight conference finals and won an NBA championship during that time.
on with Kings GM Scott Perry. Hey, Scott, when you put together a team and go into a season and we're still a ways away from, knowing the full roster, do you have expectations going into each and every season as a GM?
Well, I'm going to go into every season about wanting us to maximize what we have and that we're going to come out, play hard, fight every single night, and play together. If we would compete, play hard every night, and play together, then we'll let the chips fall where they may. I'm into winning, want to win all the time, but it has to start. We have to build a foundation that each and every night we're going to scratch and claw and compete and play hard. And I believe if you do that, you're going to have good enough success, each and every season. So, but we have to start establishing that this year, that's who we're going to be.
Scott Perry, the Kings GM, with us. We know that Domas just posted a social media message to the young players. Welcome. Let's get to work. You have talked publicly about Zach LaVine and the importance of putting the right pieces around him. But Scott, a year ago, before you were here, of course, the big story was DeMar DeRozan, and we haven't heard much this summer about DeMar DeRozan. Is there anything you can share with us about how he's feeling about things, where the team is with him, how likely he is to be on the roster, anything about DeMar DeRozan and his future with the club?
DeMar DeRozan is in a very good place. Actually, I just a few weeks ago, flew to Los Angeles to have lunch with him. And known him a little bit, respected him as a professional from afar for many years. And he's ready to go. Mm-hmm. And he's excited about the change and my coming here. And so we had a very good conversation. And no, he's all in. And I'm looking forward to working with him during this season. So and getting the very best out of him. He wants to win. And so we're definitely aligned on that, and we're going to get to work when camp starts.
Very good. Thank you.
Scott Perry joining us. Hey, Scott, in your opening press conference, you talked about the need for a point guard. We didn't get one in the draft. How much of is that still a priority for you?
Oh, it's still important to us that we address that position, and we're going to go out here and see if we can address the position. And pending free agency that starts next week. So we'll see what happens there, and but we'll get it figured out one way or the other. That's just an additional way I think this team can improve is by adding that position. So
as far as Summer League goes, Scott, Kings fans now very excited about Summer League. Of course, you as a GM, what's the important? What are you looking for? Is it just getting guys acclimated to the system a little bit? What are you looking for? What are you expecting from your new players when it comes to Summer League?
I just want to see the competitive level and see how quickly they adapt and learn in the new environment. That's important. So and that they develop through the course of Summer League, from the first practice to the last Summer League game, that you can see the development, you can see the potential. They'll be learning, new terminology with our coaching staff here. And but I'm really just looking at the competitive nature of each of those guys and everybody on the roster for that matter. How are you going to compete, setting the tone for what, we want the Sacramento Kings basketball identity to be. And we're just going to compete, play hard at every turn. So that's what I want to see.
Scott, I'll wrap it up with this question. You've been on the job a few months. Obviously, you're familiar with Sacramento. What's it been like out there on the streets? Because people are coming up to me left and right. Oh, we should do this. We should do that. Are you hearing from closet GMs and people saying, Scott, we got to do this? What's it like for you, man?
And first of all, I'm used to a lot of closet GMs from my time in New York. So there were a whole bunch of closet GMs there. But no, people here have been great. Problem is they probably don't see me much because I'm temporarily right now, I'm staying about a half a block from the arena. So if you don't see me walking from the arena to where I stay, it's going to be hard to get a hold of me right now because I've been, obviously really busy getting ready with the draft and and there's a couple of restaurants I go to, and that's about it. So I haven't been out and about a ton, but I'm looking forward to that now, once we begin to slow down and I get settled in more.
Well, Scott, listen, congratulations on inspiring Kings fans. Kings fans have turned around. They're very positive about things now. Congratulations on your moves, and thank you. You're so busy right now. We really, really appreciate a few moments of your time.
Well, I really appreciate you guys having me on, and just want the Kings fans to know that it's very important to me that we build something that's sustainable and successful, and in an organization and a team they can be very proud of and support. It was always great coming in here as a visitor, just feeling the energy from this crowd and from this community. Now I get to be a part of that and be on the right side of that this time.
Yeah.
When we go to Bergman Center. So
good stuff, Scott. Hey, I tell you, Scott, you keep making moves like this draft, man. I'm gonna give you all kinds of strokes, man. I'm gonna give you 10 strokes, 11 strokes on the golf course.
Hey, what? With Sacramento Kings community, just heard that, Kyle. No going back on that now.
All right.
No going back.
Thanks, Scott. All right, man. We'll talk soon.
Okay.
All right,
We
baby.
appreciate
Thanks,
it.
man.
Yeah,
Right.
Scott Perry. So where does the draft leave the Kings
Yes,
for free agency?
that was Scott Perry. We appreciate his time today. When we come right back, the Kings just signed another undrafted player this afternoon. Tell you who next on SacTown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by the Roseville Auto Mall.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA3 Weather Center, and a warmer evening tonight. Temperatures eventually will be dropping off into the 60s, mid to upper 60s, and then we'll have a warmer day on Saturday with temperatures up around 100 degrees. Get the latest forecasts on the KCRA3 News and the KCRA3 app.
The Roseville Auto Mall is Northern California's ultimate destination when looking for your next vehicle. Find the largest selection with 20 top brands. Find spectacular deals during our big 4th of July sales event going on now at the Roseville Auto Mall, driven to be the best.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
When you're hiring, have you ever felt like you're missing out on meeting great candidates? Well, they're not hard to find when you go to ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter helps 10 million people with their job search every day. People who are actively looking for jobs like yours. So it's easy to find the right person fast. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9861. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9861. That's 800-575-9861. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
School may be out, but shuttling the kids back and forth to their events is still going strong. In fact, the summer tournament season is in full swing. That's why now is the perfect time to buy a Sprinter van at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper. I have a 15-year-old son and a 13-year-old daughter, and they keep me busy with all their summer activities. Whether it's cheer, basketball, soccer, or even volleyball, the summer sports season waits for no one. At Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, you can get low rates and thousands of dollars in customer cash on new Sprinter and Crew vans right now. And there's even larger savings on their electric vans. And business owners, listen up. I got a special for you. Mercedes-Benz vans are fully customizable, so they can fit all your everyday business needs. So head on down to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, and you'll find out just like I did. It's the finest car buying experience I've ever had. Plus, these rates and deals won't last long. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Just a short drive right off I-5 or anytime at mbfstockton.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got to tell you, I am so excited to get this decking project started with Trex decking and railings. From the first time I stepped foot in the showroom last week, I was so impressed. So many color options, heat-resistant composite deck. What does that mean? That means I don't have to do any maintenance on it whatsoever. They even have a deck designer, so you can go online and see what your dream deck will look like on your house. Just visit Trex, that's Trex.com to get it started. Tell them Carmichael Dave sent you.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on SacTown Sports.
Fact, the Kings signed another undrafted player today. Fact.
All right.
That undrafted player is good friends, close friends with Chris Paul.
Really?
Yes.
What are we talking about?
I'm not saying, I'm just saying. The guy that they signed, you know his dad. Do you know from Butler, Patrick McCaffrey? Patrick McCaffrey has signed with the Sacramento Kings. He's the son of longtime Iowa coach, current Penn coach Fran McCaffrey. He led Butler with 77 made three-pointers, averaged 11.2 points per game, shot 41.6% from three. That's 41.6% from three. Yeah, 6'9", Drapes.
Okay.
6'9". His transition, according to the Indy Star, his transition to a perimeter shooter should serve him well at the next level. So I'm not saying anything significant necessarily, but it did happen. Patrick McCaffrey, who was with Iowa, and I don't know. Let's see. Well,
what?
No. I was going to say, would he have played with Tyrese Halliburton? But that wasn't Iowa, was it? That was Iowa State.
Yeah, Iowa State.
Yeah.
But Keegan Murray, right?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
there you go.
I mean,
right. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what you're thinking of there.
Thank you. Yes. Now, apparently, Patrick McCaffrey, he's had some battles with cancer, and I don't know all the details here. He looks like he's fine, but apparently during his issues with cancer, he somehow became friends with Chris Paul.
I saw that. I saw that. Yeah, I'm not sure.
I think he had, as a youngster, a teenager, he had something with his thyroid, and he's had some issues with cancer. But hey, good for him. So the Kings signing another. That would be their third, as far as we know, their third undrafted player that they picked up.
Right. Yeah, and obviously these are guys. If they stick around, will be on the summer league team, and guys you sort of look for a diamond in the rough, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
So. I'm going to try to find out something about Patrick McCaffrey here.
And I got a little tidbit about Patrick McCaffrey.
Yeah.
Really?
He's the brother of Conor McCaffrey.
Oh, yeah.
Who was dating Caitlin Clark.
Yeah.
There you go.
Dude, I tell you, if Caitlin's courtside for a game, it's a wrap. Your boy ain't going to be concentrating and nothing.
She's going to be courtside to see her boyfriend's brother play?
Because her boyfriend might want to come check out his brother.
Yeah, okay.
Be there off season.
All right.
Chris
Paul's going to be there to see his buddy?
Yep, Chris Paul sitting courtside. Oh, man, that's huge.
Yeah. So that's who the Kings have signed today after signing Dylan Cardwell last night or yesterday and Isaac Nogues to a, what'd you say, Exhibit 10
Exhibit 10 deal.
For him.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay. Scott Perry moving and grooving.
Yeah.
Do
you remember when the NBA draft was, it used to be at least like 5 or 6 or 7 rounds. Way back.
Oh, I don't even remember that, honestly. I know it did. Yeah, it used to be with fewer teams at that, too.
Yes,
right?
right.
It's crazy. Yeah, I can't imagine. Shoot, I barely remember when it was one night. They've changed it since then. So I can't imagine. Like, if you're a 7th round NBA,
right,
dude, come on. You're not making the team, are you? I'm going to look that up. When was the last time they did 7 rounds of the NBA draft?
I'm guessing it was in the 70s, but I'm not sure. That's why you had guys like Dave Winfield and Tony Gwynn getting drafted.
This is crazy. The 1960 and 68 draft went as long as 21 rounds. What is going on here, man?
I think I heard something last night while watching the draft. I think they said it was either 89 or 91 was when they condensed it to 2 rounds. I can't remember what year they said, but they mentioned it during the draft last night.
1989 NBA draft. Let me see. Nah, that's still 2 rounds. So even before that, 88 draft. There you go. 3 rounds in the 88 draft. Let's see. Anthony Mason was a 3rd round pick.
How about
Former
that?
Nick. Yeah, see, there's some value out there in the 3rd round. Let me see. 87 draft. I think it's more actually. 4, 5, 6, 7 rounds in the 85 draft.
Wow.
Let's see who was the most noted late round draft pick. Sharunas Marshallonis.
Oh.
Yeah, remember him? 6th rounder.
Yeah.
Scored 4,000 points in the league.
Because he might have still been over in the old
Yeah.
Soviet Union.
Yeah.
And there might have been questions about whether he was going to be able to come over.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, he's a fine Sacramento King.
How
Tough
about
as nails.
How about this guy? 4th rounder. Chris Dudley. Remember him?
Never forget his free throws.
Free throws, right?
Yeah.
Free throw percentage. Career 45.8% free throw percentage. Jack Haley was a 4th rounder.
The Tin Man.
Yep. Kevin Gamble.
Oh, I remember him.
Yeah, remember him? He was a 3rd rounder.
Wasn't he a Celtic?
Yep, former Celtic. A scout now with Minnesota, I think. I can't, or Milwaukee, maybe. Yeah, he's still around.
Conversely, you have guys like, and I may have these details a little off, but you had a guy like Willis Reed who was pick number 9, something like that, but he was a 2nd round pick.
Right. Yeah. Back in the day when they only had like 6 to 7 teams.
Yeah.
All right. You got me going down a rabbit hole right now, Whitey. 6th round pick. Remember Pete Myers played with the Bulls?
Pete Myers, he replaced Jordan in the starting lineup.
Yeah, I do know that. Yeah. See, he was the heir apparent, if you will. Yes. Pete Myers. That's when it all went downhill for them.
I think he went into coaching as well, if I'm not mistaken.
Really?
Okay. Thought he did.
Dude, this is awesome, man. To like, I'm in the 80s. Sorry, last one, Whitey.
Take your time.
85 draft. Went 6, 7 rounds. Let's see. Pick number 160. 3rd from the bottom. Mario Ellie.
Ooh, good player.
How about that? See, there's value out there, Whitey. Maybe we should go back.
Here's a fun draft fact for you. 2003 draft considered one of the best ever, right?
Yeah.
Ron, Carmelo.
Yeah, that's a great draft.
That draft, 2003, also produced, I think it was the most picks who never played in the NBA. There's 11 guys in that draft that never played in the NBA.
In the 1st round or just
in the draft?
In the draft.
Yeah, in the 2003. Great draft.
2003.
There was also a lot of guys that never made it.
I don't even know. I know any of these guys? You know any of these guys?
I don't have them off the top
Big
of my
time
head
college players? Dude, I can find that really
And
quick.
do we consider 2003 the best draft? Because I argue 1996, in my opinion, was the best draft ever.
1996 was pretty damn good.
What about 84? 84 was a good draft.
84 was good. Barkley and those guys. All right. Zhu Zhang. You ever hear of him?
No.
Rick Rickard. Nedjad Shinonovich.
Wait, who?
Exactly. Tommy Smith. Ramon Vanderheer.
This is 2003?
Yeah.
Tommy Smith from ASU?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Tommy Smith.
Oh, he know Tommy Smith. Okay. Who else? Malik Badiane. Sani Bedarovich.
And all those guys were excellent players, right?
Yeah, they were.
Who's that? They were excellent players.
Wow, this is so crazy. So in that draft with LeBron, Melo, Bosh, Wade, and them, there was one 1st rounder. He only played 6 games in the NBA for his career. Number 16 overall pick.
Who's
you
that?
think number 16 overall pick, you get
right.
Troy Bell out of Boston College. 6 career games.
How many? I'm assuming you have it there. Darko, what did he end up doing?
468 games.
Mm-hmm.
6 points, 4.2 rebounds. I know. 10 seasons in the league. Think about it. Let me look at his career earnings. Sorry about this. Because, I mean, this dude probably cleaned up Darko's career earnings. $52 million. Wow. Damn. Think about that.
Yeah.
For a bum. No offense to him. But, like, I mean, dude.
Can we say a bust instead of a bum?
All right, a bust. All right. Meanwhile, conversely, LeBron James' career earnings. I just want to look at this just to see. Just from basketball. LBJ career $483 million.
Doesn't that draft with LeBron have to be considered the best because it had LeBron in it in addition to other great players?
Well, let's look at Jordan's draft. What was that? 83?
84, right? Yeah, with Olajuwon.
Yeah. That was that. Yeah. Let me see. That's a pretty damn good draft.
Yes, because it had
Jordan.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, that. All right, so you got Olajuwon, Jordan, Barkley, Perkins. Alvin Robertson was a damn good player.
Yes.
Otis Thorpe, our boy. Kevin Willis, Michael Cage, Stockton. Stockton was the 16th overall pick. Yeah, some players out there. But let me see anybody in the nobody really in the second round. Jerome Kersey, R.I.P. to
Really
him.
good player, yeah.
Yeah, late Jerome Kersey was out there. That's a pretty damn good draft. But I don't know. 2003 might be it, man.
Ramsey says 96.
Yeah, I think 2003 or 96. Those are the ones.
96 had Iverson, Marcus Camby, Sharif, Stephon Marbury, Ray Allen, Antoine Walker, Lorenzo Wright, God rest his soul, Kerry Kittles, Kobe, Pager, Steve Nash, Jermaine O'Neal, John Wallace from Syracuse, Big Z, Derek Fisher.
To me, that's a really, really good draft, but not as good as the Jordan or the LeBron drafts. What do you think, Drapes? I mean, there's some
LeBron,
yeah,
Melo, Bosh, Wade. And then it kind of falls off a little bit there, Whitey. It does kind of fall off after that. David West. That one's top heavy. Barbosa. I might be leaning towards 96, dude.
Big Perk.
I might be. Yeah, Big Perk. All right. We could do this all day, man.
And Luke Walton was a second-round draft pick in 2003.
Yeah, 32nd overall pick. Yeah. That puts it over the top.
Yeah, when it comes to these facts and figures and things, that you got to take on Ramsey today in the way back.
Oh, I'm ready for that.
Are you?
Yeah, he's worried about his concert he going to tomorrow. He's not even focused over there.
I'm focused, man.
Are you ready for that, Ramsey?
Most definitely.
Whitey's Wayback Machine quiz is next as we wrap up the week. What a week it's been on SacTown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Dirk Verdorn in the KCRA 3 Weather Center, and a warmer evening tonight. Temperatures eventually will be dropping off into the 60s, mid to upper 60s, and then we'll have a warmer day on Saturday with temperatures up around 100 degrees. Get the latest forecasts on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
At Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. Whether you purchase a new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, Elk Grove Honda has the right Honda at the right price. In the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard, or elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Do your summer plans include travel? Make sure your prep includes more than just flights and hotels. Stay up to date with COVID-19 vaccination, especially if you're 65 or older or have certain health conditions. There have been surges in COVID-19 in the summer, too. It's important to help protect yourself no matter your destination.
Because this was a trade or
So
no?
check eligibility
Yeah.
and schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. That's VAXassist.com. Brought to you by Pfizer.
Aloha! Dreaming of sandy beaches and ocean breezes? JTV's Tropical Treasure Sweepstakes could make that dream come true. Enter for your chance to win a fabulous Hawaiian getaway for two with luxury accommodations, airfare, and spending cash. Plus, just for entering, get $30 off your next qualifying JTV purchase of at least $99 when you opt in for emails. Don't miss out. Visit jtv.com/sweeps and enter by August 3rd. JTV, where paradise awaits.
Whitey here for Napoleon Grills, reminding you that when buying a new grill, every detail matters.
While supplies last, you'll receive a $149 gift with purchase on every new Napoleon Prestige stainless steel grill. The kit even includes a Pizza Lover starter kit and much more. And now up to $79 off Napoleon Rogue models. Napoleon grills are built different, built better, built to last with a lifetime warranty and premium steel that boasts amazing quality. Visit Green Acres Nursery today for your best selection of Napoleon grills and accessories.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed cracks in your drywall, chimney, or exterior walls? I hope not, because if you have, they could be indications that you've got a much bigger problem with your foundation. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to stabilize your foundation. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents as local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton & Price.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Jane has 150,000 miles on her truck, and she's proud of that. Jane's secret, AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help her find the right parts. Jane's brother Josh only cares that his car starts and goes, but when it doesn't, he also goes to AutoZone, where friendly AutoZoners help with free services. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Every success you've had began with a great opportunity. Now there's another one. Last aid year, University of Maryland Global Campus awarded over $21 million in scholarships to qualified students, including community college students, service members, veterans, and working adults. Now is the time to move your career forward with an online and accredited skills-based education. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
Carmichael Dave here for my friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Yes, I always tell you they are a family-owned operation, been in business since 81, A-plus Better Business Bureau, but it is hot. We are in those Sacramento hot months. I want to focus on them being your second opinion partner. What does that mean? Maybe you've got somebody you're working with or you've worked with in the past in the HVAC world. Guess what? They want to give you a second opinion. How much does it cost? Nothing. You call them up and say, hey, can I get a second opinion on this deal? They come out and they either say, wow, that's a great deal, you should feel better about that. Or they say, we can beat that price. And usually they're going to beat it by a lot. Guess what? You just saved money and it didn't cost you anything to find out. It's a no-lose situation. Go with a trusted company. American Energy, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Jingle Singers, take it away.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Now, if I beat him here in the way back quiz, he's done an excellent job today.
Yeah. Now, hopefully it's okay.
Amphitheater out there.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Have fun, Ramsey.
I will. It's a chance for me to get back to my birthplace. I appreciate it.
And right now, it's an opportunity for someone to claim the crown. Whitey's Wayback Machine Quiz underway for June 27th, brought to you by Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating.
You know, the Giant announcers like to say ownage is ownage. My point is, I don't have the numbers here, but I think Ramsey has a little ownage on it.
Nah. He's up like 4-1 or something like that. Hey, we haven't faced off that much.
Okay. Yeah, like I said, I don't have the actual numbers. What do you think, Ramsey? Have you fared well against Mr. Draper in this competition?
I fared well, but today's a new day. We'll see how it goes. I don't take anything for granted.
I actually don't remember who.
Give it to Ramsey. I won the last one against Jay. I'm the reigning champ.
You're the reigning champ then.
All right,
You're the reigning champ.
Okay. All right, let's do it.
You're up first here, Drapes. Everything in the quiz that happened on this date or is related to things that happened on June 27th. In these years, we have this date, what year in the NBA draft? 1977, 1986. We also have 1990, 2001, and 2013.
NBA draft.
Let's say what year in the NBA draft?
Yes.
All right, so you know the rule. You get to hear it. You decide if you're going to go first or if he goes first. For the first time, the NBA draft is televised live with TBS covering the proceedings from the Felt Forum in New York. This date, what year?
I have an idea. I'm scared to give it to Ramsey because he might get it on the spot. You know,
that's strategy coming into play here early.
I'm gonna give it to him though. Go ahead, Ramsey.
All right, Ramsey. What year, for the first time, the NBA draft televised live with TBS covering the proceedings from the Felt Forum in New York City? This date, what year?
I'm gonna go 1987.
1987.
Oh, 1986.
1989.
Nah, we seen Jordan walking up. You sure about that?
Yeah, that's
let me look. No.
TBS.
I've seen Jordan walk up, Barkley in his suit. I mean, I need to look that up. First time NBA draft televised
on TBS.
TBS is it?
No, I thought it.
No, he said TBS. That's the qualifier.
I thought you meant TBS was the first. Oh, I misunderstood the question. I thought you meant that was the first live telecast of the draft.
Yeah. I'll tell you what I'm going to do.
Because that was kind of the way you read it is kind of.
I'm going to toss that one out.
You see my mistake, though, right?
Yes. Yes. And the way it was written, it is actually written where it could have interpreted your way.
I thought it was when was the draft.
You did nothing wrong, Ramsey.
That's fine.
I'm going to toss it out.
I hate to be that guy, but I totally.
TBS covered the proceedings. By the way, 1989 was the Purvis Ellison draft.
That was the first TBS draft,
and I
not the first NBA televised.
It was not well written by our writing team, and they're going to hear about it.
We're throwing it. So do I get another crack?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
Starting anew.
We're off to a great start here.
86, 1990, 2001, 2013.
2013.
It's the closest too.
All right, Ramsey, go first.
Ramsey, this date, 2013. Anthony Bennett is the first pick in the NBA draft. Atlanta takes potential future King Dennis Schroeder with what pick in that draft, 2013?
I'm going to go 16.
16, Kyle Draper.
That's very close, 17.
17 is absolutely right.
Damn it. I had 17 in my mind.
Dude, I knew you. I was
That's
like,
me.
oh, shoot.
That's me.
One another Drapes. Over to Ramsey. 77, 86, 1990, 2001.
1990.
1990. It's multiple choice.
Okay.
This date, 1990, the A's signed what player to a 5-year deal worth a record $23.5 million? It actually made him the first $5 million a year player.
That's crazy.
Part of that deal. Was it Jose Canseco, Ricky Henderson, Mark McGuire? This date, 1990.
Canseco.
Canseco is correct. And it's 1-1.
Why are you giving him layups? Layups. Come on.
Canseco was the first one that really got paid.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
He was the first $5 million a year player. Back to Draper. 77, 86, 2001.
86.
1986. It's the closest to.
He can go for it.
Ramsey, this date, 1986. Robbie Thompson of the Giants is caught stealing a record. How many times in one game?
3.
Kyle Draper?
4.
4 is correct. 4 is the record. Draper with the lead, 2-1.
Oh, Ramsey.
And the clock is ticking. Ramsey, 77, 86, 2001.
86. What'd you say? 86?
77 and 2001, actually. I'm sorry. The 86 we already just did.
Yeah.
77 and 2001.
2001.
2001. To closest two.
Draper time.
Drapes, you could clinch it here, Drapes. Yep. Washington selects Kwame Brown with the first pick in the NBA draft, including Kwame Brown. How many players selected at number 1 overall have come directly out of U.S. high school?
U.S. high school.
Directly out of U.S. high school. Number 1 overall picks
in the draft era.
In the NBA draft.
All right.
Including Kwame.
You got Kwame.
Drapes could clinch it right here. Kwame Brown, this date, 2001. First pick in the NBA draft, including him. How many players selected at number 1 overall have come directly out of U.S. high school?
It's not that many, actually. And you said U.S. high school. Ooh, this is a tough one.
What do you got?
I'm going to go with...
He's going into the stall here, and we are...
No, I'm really thinking here. Number 1 overall... 3.
That is correct!
I had that number in mind. I had it in mind. Can you name the 3 then?
Yeah.
Name the 3.
You didn't have to name them. He wants you to name them.
Name the 3, because I'm pretty sure I got it.
Dwight Howard's right.
LeBron James,
Yep,
Kwame Brown.
Yep.
There you go.
Congratulations. Big win. Well played. Kyle Draper, the winner.
Oh, I feel great.
Thank you, Ramsey. Thank you for being with us. Have a great weekend. We're back with you Monday on SacTown Sports.
Start of free agency. Woo!
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or